And we are live, I think. Let me bring this up. What we saying? Happy Sunday, people. How we doing? 7:30. Premier Battles, APEX2. That's what we're doing tonight. Roundtable. I've got Trubs from the Wiretap and YD Yendizi TV joining us in just a minute. I'm going to bring them in shortly, but I'm going to kind of see if we can get the chat to build up. Big up, Troy. Salute. Big supporter of UK Battle Rap. Thank you for tuning in. Just caught you on the last Wiretap stream. Dope. Tune in and subscribe to the Wiretap. Watch the weekly verses. Sometimes Trubs does 2 a week. Crazy. Puts me onto so many UK artists. So he's going to be joining us soon. Joe Downey, we are here. Thanks for tuning in. YD, we are here. Yeah, backstage, breaking the fourth wall. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to bring in Trubs, bring in YD in just a second. Like I said, we're talking, as you know, Premier Battles, APEX2, the event of the year. Let's bring in Trubs and YD so we can talk about this. Salute Trubs, salute YD, big up.
Oh God, how you doing, Jack? Thank you for having us.
No, very welcome. I'm so glad that you're here and tuned in, and we're going to talk about this because this event was nuts. How you guys doing this Sunday evening?
Very well, thank you. Very well. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm blessed still. Just came from a show as well, as you was tuned in, as you saw. Yeah, we here. Hit that like button.
Listen, Trubs, that show, man, I was sitting in here, screwy face, jamming. I was with the pain. I was with the vibes. I was with the rapping. I'm supposed to be making notes, and I'm like, all right, I have to duck out now. No, I can't duck out now because this tune.
Yeah, nah, they dope, man. And that's the thing, like, I do the banger for bangers because I'm trying to merge the battle rap world with the just the music in general. You get me? Because I feel like battle rap could simply be a subgenre to music. Same way we got R&B, we got drill, we got like mumble rap. Why can't we have battle rap as a subgenre of that? You get me? Yeah. So I'm just trying to merge both worlds. You get me? And I know so many talented people that I'm like, why not? You get me? Why not?
Yeah, 100%.
Shout out Troy, shout out Visceral as well. You get me?
Yeah, right. Every time. Thank you for tuning in. YD, how you doing? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, man. I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah.
I've been watching these battles. I went back and watched them over and over again. You know, it was a good event.
Yeah.
You know, so keep it all fresh.
So all right. So should we just get right into it then?
Get into it, man.
Let's get right into it. Shout out to all the Premier Battles team. You get me?
Facts, yeah. And for putting this event on in the pandemic, like we in London, like we're kind of spoiled. We get regular battle rap events from URL putting on, you know, the Ultimate Madness tournaments, King of the Dot with their tournaments, the app events, the Summer like we get all of that from, you know, the States, while we over here in the UK are literally locked down. Like our lockdown seems very different to it is in America. Like you can't have more than X amount of people in the same room. You've got all these restrictions. You can't travel. So the fact that we got this event whilst all of this madness is going on here, we've got all of these big names. We've got these amazing battles, like big up Premier Battles, salute. And thanks to all the battlers for putting on. And I think we're going to go, it wasn't the first battle, but we're going to cover it first. The Jester Black versus Lester. Jester traveled 23. I'm going to say the man traveled a whole working day, waking, sleeping. He was on a plane, train, bus, ferry, automobile, right? He wasn't on a plane, but because there were no flights. And that was one of the reasons a lot of the Irish battlers couldn't turn up. But salute to Jester Black for traveling for 23 hours from Ireland to put on. But yeah, this was the Academy final.
Yep.
Jester Black versus Leicester. What did you guys think of that?
It was the academy battle.
Yes, the Academy final. Yeah.
Final. Yeah. No, it was a good battle. It was a good battle. There was a few bars in there from both of them. As I said, salute to them for putting on in the pandemic. I think I gave it to Celesta in the end. I gave it to him. I'm not sure if it was like judged, and I'm not sure how it worked.
It was judged, yeah. Yeah, the stream. In fact, let me say
so
this. Let me just interrupt and just say this. The stream has the individual battles where you can watch them all, but it also has the sort of 4-hour stream where you also get the judging as well. All the judges, all the battles were judged, and the Academy final and the title match obviously are significant. The judging decision is significant in one of those battles because obviously the Academy finalist is the winner of the Academy. They are the Academy champ for 2020, and the Yunnan Mata battle was, the judging is important in that because it tells you who won the title. So if you're watching the streams for those, and if you're watching us and you haven't seen the streams, I don't know what you're doing. Go and cop the pay-per-view.
But personally, first of all, I'm mad at you if you ain't got the pay-per-view and you want it now, because that means we ain't following the wiretap, innit?
Facts, tell them, Trubs.
That is literally that simple. That means you ain't following the wiretap, because we gave away 6 pay-per-view codes. So if you didn't even enter, that means you're not following the wiretap, innit? So I'm mad at you for not actually supporting battle rap. And this is why I always say follow and support UK battle rap media, because if you give us the numbers, we can push this to higher platforms, and we can help push UK battle rap on our end. But all of you have to do your part too. Support all the media channels. London Gen, Battle on the Roof, Brill, Phoenix, Wiretap. We all here working our asses off. YDTV. We're out here giving you content. Support the thing, innit? And like, boom, if you was following the wiretap, we gave away 6 pay-per-view codes, so you could have potentially got one. And you would have been in tune with this. But either way, go and cop that. Go and cop that still.
I'll get that.
Spend your £20 and support the thing.
Right? £20. How much is your Sky subscription? How much do you pay for your Amazon subscription? How much do you pay for your Hulu, your Netflix, your whatever? Like, if you support UK battle rap, you have to pay for that shit somehow.
Yeah, man. And from for the weed heads, that's the eighth. You get me? That's just the little eighth. You get me?
Facts. That's it. As a smoker, I know how minor a little £20 draw is. Like, you can do without a £20 draw. You can't do without the premier battles event of the year. So let's get back to it. And YD, you were telling us about Celeste and Jester.
It was definitely a quality event. Definitely well worth the money. I bought that myself, so definitely got my money's worth out of that.
Facts. Shout out to Bloodstraw in the building as well.
Yeah. Shout out Rivers as well. See you.
I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing on the comments. Sorry, Chubbs is super slick at this. I'm like trying to Instagram, trying to pay attention.
It's hard.
Chubbs make it look easy. You make it look so easy. You entertain 2 guests. You do the comments. I'm seeing tweets and stuff at the same time. So yeah, I'm catching up.
It's not easy. Trust me. But you're doing fine though. At least you just so strong giving us a shout out. So I just responded. That's all.
Yeah.
Do it on your own time. Don't worry about me, man.
Okay. No, thanks for keeping me in check, Chubbs. Sorry, YD. Carry on.
Yeah. With Celeste versus Jess, for me, it was pretty clear for me. Like, I'm not sure how the judges went, as I didn't realize I could catch the judging part of it. Sure. I'd been interested to see what they had to say. But
it was clear for the judges as well.
Yeah, okay. For me, it was every round for Celeste. He came with bars, he was coming with angles. I liked what he was talking about, and the angles that he was talking about for Jester in terms of just how he structures his bars and his rhyme pattern and everything and his delivery. I think he did a bit of he kind of pretended to be Jester at one point as well. But just that whole thing, once he finished his round and then Jester rapped, I could kind of see that for myself. So the angle kind of hit home for me. He had a couple of lines in there where he was talking about they carry this baby on his back like Yoshi's Island. I like that. I always love gamer lines. And he had another one about staff protect the villain like Sauron. That one was probably my favorite line from the whole thing. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's
gotta
talking
love
about
a Lord of the Rings bar.
yeah, but it's not even just that. It's the actual layer of he was kind of angling on that whole thing where he was saying like the staff, I'm guessing for Premier Battle, kind of protect Jester. So true or not, I don't know, but he had enough conviction for me to kind of believe what he was saying and follow it through, you know. And he said, he had another line where he said something about you got a high ceiling, but your gaff's unfurnished. I like that. I like that correlation as well because it's like the punchlines are kind of correlating to the angle that you're talking about, you know.
Yeah.
Always appreciate that. But then I think I think it might have been the first round. He had a bit of I don't know if it was a choke. I think he said something that wasn't true or something. Someone disproved it straight away, and he just kind of gave up on the round. So yeah, I mean, apart from that, yeah, I made it clear for Leicester. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, I like Jester Black. I really like Jester Black as well. Still, I think he's dope. But I agree with what Joe Downey said in there. I felt like he was losing steam. But I think traveling for so many hours is a big factor as well. When he came and done the face off on the wiretap, Slester actually said, I don't think Jester is shit, but I think there's elements of his writing that are shit. And when he said that, I thought I kind of know where he's going with it because I've been in the ring. I kind of know angles. I kind of thought, okay, I know exactly how you're going to. To me, I kind of thought, hey, yo, Jester, you just told you his angle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now
kind of learn from that.
And Jester hadn't written his third yet, so I thought you've got an opportunity here to change certain things here and adapt. But that didn't happen. But again, like traveling for so many hours is a fact. I think Jester just had an off day. I'd like to see Jester coming back in the ring and catch a body because he's got a lot of potential still. So shout out to Jester, shout out to Celeste. Congratulations to Celeste on winning the Academy final. It's obviously he's coming after LS Dean won the first one, and then Milky won the second one. So now we've got Celeste winning the third one. So congratulations, and yeah, just hope Jester comes back strong and don't let that affect him.
Sorry, I'm just throwing my phone about here.
What do you think, Jen?
Yeah, no, I agree with what you both said. I think the choke, I think it was in the second round, so that's the second. The choke really threw him off. And I think in the this is what the commentary in between battles is so valuable. Like the shot he talks to all the battlers, and I think Celeste was explaining that in that second, he basically his rounds are so technical, and he sort of he'd forgotten a part of, you know, he'd got some words wrong, and that meant it messed up the rest of his kind of round. The perfectionist in him was like, no, like I've messed up now, I can't even continue. And he kind of froze, and it really affected him in the third. And also Slester's impersonation and sort of breakdown of Jester's style was so effective. That whole Gyoza house and
that's what I'm saying.
the catch you slip, like that whole thing. It did make it sort of expose. Yeah. It exposed Jester's style a little bit. And when you've just come off a choke, you've got a 23-hour journey on the back. Like I can imagine the things that were churning through Jester's round or mind mid Celeste round. And the third, you can see he just sort of didn't have the conviction that he needed to deliver. However, to take nothing away from Celeste was dope. His aggression in 100%. The aggression in the first, the way he came at him, I haven't seen a Celeste performance that was so like that first. I was broke him down totally. And I was just like, oh, come on, Jester. And Jester did in the first. He came hard, but the second, just it was the turning point of the battle. And for both of them, I'm just really looking forward to seeing what they've got in 2021, 2022. When you think about the fact that, you know, they had to grind through a pandemic in these small rooms. Like it's not easy to sort of perform well and win in these small rooms when you're writing for no crowd, no reaction. It gives you a different sort of training. So I'm super pleased for Slester getting that win under his belt. That first round I think was dope. The impression, all of that. Jester will have taken all of this in stock. All of the new class, a lot of the names that I've spoken to and I'm speaking to, I've interviewed for my new show. Jester is one of the names that comes up more often than others. People see what he's got to bring to the table and they're scared of it. They're scared of it. Like, definitely he's putting fear into the hearts of some of his compatriots. You're one of them, YD. I don't know what that felt like looking at Jester and even Slester for you. But I'm really looking forward.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm in analysis mode, you know, so I'm staying impartial, but
facts.
I'm staying impartial, but
you do that, bro.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows what I think.
Yeah, Nobi just woke up too. So
yeah, Nobi, he's another one that was causing stirring up trouble. But yeah, exactly, you'll be
shout
back
to Nobi, man.
100% back soon.
Shout out to Nobi. I was about to say, Nobi's just as one of the names that Nobi's kind of called out on his little antic list yesterday. So yeah, so I think Jester got another chance to come up and show again. I think him versus Nobi could be a very, very good battle, especially if he's learned from this battle as well. Definitely.
And Stro is telling us that Jester is coming back on an undisclosed. Stay tuned. Fire.
That's
fire.
Big.
Undisclosed. Oh, I'm excited just seeing that comment.
I think Jester was one of the first kind of UK battle rappers that I'd seen. Not the first, but once I started doing a bit of research kind of in the last year or so, he was one of the first ones I saw, you know. So he's been working. He's been working.
Facts.
Very clean rounds. Joe Downey, I'm guessing that's Slessy you're talking about, because he was super composed up there. Really, really loved the performance. I'm gonna recap some of these comments and I'm going to move on to the next battle. The only thing Slester needs to work on is his overall performance and the way he utilizes his space. Yeah, good comment. I think he showed sort of improvement in that last battle and he'll continue. Do y'all think Slester is the weakest winner of the Academy series? Yeah, as in Milky and LS Dean had more about them.
Travis, what do you think of that one?
Interesting question, Troy. Also putting in context, small room pandemic, no crowd kind of makes a difference as well, I think.
I don't know. I think I don't know. Slester, I think Milky might be. I don't know. It's do you know what it is, yeah? Do you know what it is? Like, the first Academy was strong. First Academy was strong. If you think, when we think back here, the semi-finalists of the first Academy was LS Dean versus DARPA, and then we had iKid versus Major Concerns. That was the semi-final of the first Academy.
Yeah.
The first Academy was strong. Major Concerns went on to the final to battle LS Dean, lost to LS Dean, but then he went on to battle Chilla Jones. You see the growth of the first Academy.
That was one of the angles as well that Slester had, I think, wasn't it? Lose here and you know.
If I lose, I'll do better. I'll do better. But I think if I go via the Academy, my favourites will probably be, no disrespect to anyone, will probably be LS Dean, Slester, Milky. But apparently Milky gave up now, so he's not battling anymore. So it don't even matter.
Well, yeah, there you go. It's irrelevant. Let's move on to the next one.
Don't even matter.
Joe says pretty much everyone in that tourney
especially
saying something.
Especially was on Twitter saying Matter beat unanimous 3-0. So I think we'll get to that. But
I saw that.
That was a bit wild still, but
You're right.
anyway,
But we'll get
Mad.
there. We'll get to
We'll
those
get
wild
there.
takes.
Whoa, we'll get there. We'll get there. Whoa, we'll
For
get there.
now, we're going to
Whoa,
go to, I think,
whoa.
which was actually the first battle of the night, which was Sam Hype, Bizzo Bond versus Sam Hypes. What do we think about that?
Okay. Charles, want to go? Or?
I'll go through. I actually judged this battle, so
Okay, well, there you go.
I've got to judge this battle. I gave it to Sam Hypes, but it was a very close battle. Very close battle. I think Bizzo. Do you know what? Technically, I like Bizzo's style more of the punches, but I felt like some of these punches felt flat. That's why I gave it to Sam Hypes. I think Sam Hypes put a bit more, had a bit more to it. That's all. But it's a very close battle. I wouldn't be surprised if I watch it now and change my mind. It's one of them battles that I can change my mind at any time. So
Totally agree with that. Yeah,
but I gave it to Sam Hypes on the day, so I'll stick to that. I can't change my mind on camera no more. I judged it, so it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. It is super debatable. And when I went and watched it back, like I'd watched it a few times for a couple of times for the, like I also judged this one as well. Gave it to Bizzo. Based again, I gave it to Bizzo on the sort of the more technicality, but it's super debatable. And if Trubs has Sam, I cannot say a word again. Like I've got nothing. Like it's not really preference. It's that the both of them sort of did what they did so well that it's hard to call a clear. There's no clear winner because they were both fire. I've got two sets of notes and I'm trying to find them both. But like there were so many quotables from both of them. I think Sam had some I liked the angles. I liked Bizzo's football scheming like throughout. I kind of like when I like scheming. And when you make a scheme sort of cohesive that isn't a random scheme, I think it kind of helps to tie your material together. If you scheme all 3 rounds, it just makes it sound all 3 rounds like you're talking kind of about the same thing, and they were direct at the same time, like it wasn't just random, but it was super close. And Sam Hypes was like the both of them really put on. I think Battle Rap Resume, I did an interview, was that yesterday? I have no idea.
Yesterday,
the day before, one of those days. He wasn't too impressed with Bizzo and said, you know, he'd seen him better before, but I thought this was a really put together Bizzo. Troy agrees, says Bizzo was crazy in this battle.
I had it quite similar. It was, I think on the first watch I gave it to Sam. Yeah, I think the first watch I gave it to Sam. Bizzo kind of came out firing in the first round for me. I think Sam was a bit lackluster, but Bizzo definitely came out firing. He had loads of quotables to me. He had something about like players death out slow, like GTA wasted. Kind of like the way he kind of put those together. He had I think this was the football one. He had this is a warm up pre-season, so play friendly.
Yeah,
he was just putting all of these kind of stuff together. Star signs have changed. You could be the Capricorn, you still wouldn't be the GOAT.
He had that Antonio Margarito bar in there as well. The punches, punches laced with face the music, like
and then he had something about it doesn't matter if you done this on a wet night in Stokes or like he was going off in that first round. He was getting off in that first round, but in the second round, I feel like both of them, that was probably both their weakest rounds. Was the second. There was something Sam said, so like bond to body like symbiosis.
I love that.
Yeah, that was definitely sick. And then Bizzo was funny.
There were two. Sorry to cut you, YD. There were 2 symbiosis lines. I think I think Yunnan also had one, and I think this was the better symbiosis bar. This was the one that made more logical sense.
Oh no, I think
it did.
I think Yunnan's one. I think when we get there, I'll show you why. I'll show you why. But it's funny that he in that same round he had something with symbiosis which could be related to Spider-Man and like Venom. Bizzo had a line where he said something about more shots than Peter Parker taking pictures of Spider-Man in action swinging. But the way he was putting that all together, like in action swinging, he would just had that whole rhyming pattern. Bizzo was going, he was rapping, like he was rapping.
He was
rapping. So I think from a rapping perspective, Bizzo took it, but Sam had a lot more lines that hit home, because when he came in his third and he started with this angle about Bizzo being a hotel manager, and
man said I gave bad reviews preparing for this match.
Right.
On TripAdvisor.
Yeah, I love that whole bit. I love, what is it? Told your boss on TripAdvisor. No, bad reviews on TripAdvisor. Told your boss you sing to minors. Like,
he was.
You did what?
But then what I really liked about it is he was alongside that, he was talking about Bizzo's ability in battle rap. And that's one of my favorite kind of angles I like, is talk about someone's ability. And he was saying, it's ironic a hotel manager can't take control of a room. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Right. I'm just like, I couldn't give Bizzo the third round with stuff like that, right? The Sweet 16s, I think you're thinking of your fan base. You know, this will be the second time a Bond actor's died this year. Sam's lines were just hitting.
Yeah, that third for me was definitely Sam's strongest. Like,
and he rebutted every round as well, so you gotta get points for that.
Yeah, so
I love the what was it? Your name on your shirt, so we know who you are. I thought that rebuttal was fire. And basic. Yeah. It's simple and effective. Sometimes the most simple and effective lines are the best ones.
I've heard the most simplest lines and I've gone crazy about it. I remember when Ramniti said to Twerk, you lot thought he was gonna beat me to death. You're right. He died first.
Yeah.
Simple.
The simplicity of it. Yeah, we
crazy
get it.
Crazy.
Like you came in here with your name on your shirt, like let me give you, like you handed me a rebuttal on a plate.
That's good.
Yeah. But shout out Shorty on the stream still.
Bizzo's salute to Shorty. Skirt. Bizzo's Sam's rebuttal of the Tawny stuff. Like for me, and I said this in my judging, why don't you have a better one? Bizzo don't even work in a hotel no more though. Doesn't matter, Troy. Doesn't matter. We don't know that. He told his boss he sings to minors. You're a hotel manager and you can't take charge of a room. We were all riding. We don't know he doesn't like it hit. Like Nitty doesn't work in Target, but self-checkout.
It hit, man. It hit. It was good.
Salute Polo. I lost my train of thought there. I got so caught up on that was it, the rebuttal, the pre-buttal. Why didn't pre-buttles really annoy me? Because when salute Shorty, thanks for sharing. When you know that there's an obvious potential angle, and I think that is an obvious potential angle. What can I say about Sam? Sam hasn't been around a long time. There's not a lot of material that I can pick through and angles that I can go and take. World of Battle Rap forever, a hotel manager. Facts. What can you say? So you're limited within the material that you can sort of work with. You've been battling online on these, and I think I've seen a couple of them. They're not the highest profile. The man might have earned some money, but
salute.
Anticipate the angle. Yeah, no, for real. Salute. However you can get money in this pandemic, I respect it, but I don't respect you not coming thinking, you know what, someone's going to hit that. And £750 or dollars, whatever it was. I just didn't think it was particularly strong. When I heard him touching on that, I thought, oh shit, he's got something here. And
but then again, I don't see it as, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't think that's not why, because he's been battling online. It's not, I don't think it's an obvious angle for someone to take, because if I've been battling online making money, bruh,
only because the battles weren't the most high profile of battles. And let's be real, like URL, RBE's quarantine battles weren't the most high profile.
Was he saying something like you waited 6 months for a £750 battle or something like that?
Well,
he said he's been battling for 7 months and he's made 700. That was all right. No, that's the thing. To me, I didn't need a proper. I didn't even know. That's the thing. Like I didn't even know. I wasn't aware of
Maybe
Sam
I'm
Heights
being
was.
picky. And also,
I wasn't aware. So to me, it was like
effective. It wasn't as
I was
effective as the other angle.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was
but to
alright.
me, the minute you painted the picture that you've earned some money from it,
true.
I'm good with that.
And
I'm good with that.
$750 as well.
I'm good
Man
with
didn't say
that.
£75.
Come like you
Maybe
probably
I'm just
you're on furlough, blood.
maybe
you
I
probably
was spoiled by the
Just the way you
first
put it together,
rebuttal.
it kind of hit.
Yeah.
But when you think about
Maybe
it,
I was
level,
spoiled by the t-shirt rebuttal because that really hit for me. And also, it's a rebuttal.
Yeah.
Like
what hold on there. I got another note on here from Bizzo. Is Sam's real surname like Freeman or something? Because he said something about
that was fire.
Yeah,
Freeman, no bars and conviction.
with no conviction.
That's cool.
Fire.
That's
Fire.
cool still.
In my judging, I read my notes wrong and I said freedom, no bars and conviction, knowing it was. But Freeman, like it works. Yeah, you're a free man.
You know what a free man
no
is?
bars and conviction. But there were so many, like I've got notes here. There were so many, Sam Hypes' Bond flips. I'm sure Bizzo has heard 1,000,001 Bond flips, but some of his were like really good to the point where even in my judging, I kind of said a Bond flip. I think I said a breaking down Bond and it just stuck in, but that was one of his flips. I didn't even think of it. That every few years you have to reinvent it. The bond to body symbiosis.
Sure, he's taking a piss, bro.
But you see,
$100 a battle, £58 a battle.
For over 7 months, though.
Hey,
it's not wrong.
And that's what and this is what I'm saying, Shotty. This is what I'm saying. Like it hit.
Listen, certain man are out in the cold, selling the eighth right now.
This is it. I hear that, but if you're gonna make it out, like, you know what I mean? You're really doing this thing, and
if you're making money from rapping,
like that,
bro.
That I like that angle.
I'm gonna kind of I agree. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh. To me, Sam Hypes is not like you say. Like I'd seen Sam Hypes at a Don't Flop tryout at the beginning of the year. The next thing I'm seeing him, I think it was Sam Hypes. I'm not even sure. I'm not even 100% sure. He was so fire at that Don't Flop tryout. And I'm watching him again and I'm thinking, I'm sure this is the same guy because the same sort of material, the same accent, the same look. You're a bar led, like you're spitting, like this is the same guy. When you've got limited, when your opponent has limited battles to go and research or angles over the years, they're going to your Instagram, they're going to your Twitter. What's on your Instagram, G? Like online tournament battles.
That's true. That was my first time seeing Sam Hype, so I wasn't aware of nothing.
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of none of that.
I just kind of felt like it could have been a bit stronger.
And they for Cali 70
Exactly.
That's true.
That's true. He could have got that 10 times over, like for just sitting down writing bars. So maybe I'm being harsh.
But then he's
maybe not.
Writing bars for an 8. He's writing bars for an 8 to Cali.
I ain't been paid from rapping before, so he's done better than me.
Same here. That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
It just sounds good in the room. It sounds good in the room.
That's it, YD. Sounds good in the room. But like, I sat down, wrote for 30 minutes, and earned an 8th. Like, what did you do? Like, no. Like, you put your hand in your pocket. Like, my weed man just come to my door. I put my hand in my pocket.
You should have hit that back with him or something, man. I don't know, man. That was
I really enjoyed.
That was a good battle. It was a good battle.
I love
that was the first one I watched.
The words sinking in like Tom Riddle's diary. I don't know, the Harry Potter in me, the visual, like I fuck with that. I didn't like, and I said this in the judging, I didn't like the being with Sam Hypes is like being trans, or being, what was it? To be with Sam is like being trans. Wherever you go, you drag, it misses. I can't find a way that hits, or that works.
I don't even remember that. That's probably why I don't remember it.
Yeah. But I did like the stuff. I find like the wife angle coming at someone's partner is generally sloppy.
Yeah.
It's generally bad. But this, I liked it. Like,
Always happens. The minute you start bringing your girl to events, it's down to happen.
It's battle rap, man.
It's down to happen. If you bring your missus to events, she's basically a part of the sport. It's one of them ones. So you should anticipate that.
But also, when I was watching it and he's talking about, your wife's a photographer, she shows up to all your events, whatnot. I'm looking at the photographer in the background. I'm thinking, shit, is that his wife? It wasn't. But for a second, just because like the angle has been brought to the fore, and I'm thinking about your wife turning up, like taking all these pictures at your battles, your number one fan type thing.
Salute. She's supposed to be the number one fan. Salute. Salute to the wifey, you get me?
No, she is. Even though really enjoyed the pay-per-view. Yeah. Getting on to the next one, because that was let me say, the Schrodinger's cat scheme, battle rap resume. Tom brought this up to me yesterday, and I didn't really think about it. It's misusing Schrodinger's cat, but it hit in the building, and kind of sometimes that's all that matters. The bar worked. Bizzo's third. He had a Schrodinger's cat scheme, which was fire. We won't know if he died, but it didn't really work. So I kind of got to mention the technicalities.
Well, look, now since you're doing that, because I got some of those in my notes.
Go on,
I didn't know if he was doing that.
No.
Bizzo had a couple of them. Bizzo had a couple of them in his rounds. Because I mean, it's not really a technicality, but it's just it's missing an additional layer that I would have liked. So Way was saying like the star signs have changed. You could be a Capricorn, you still wouldn't be a GOAT. What would have been nice if it was an actual thing where Sam's star sign had now moved over to Capricorn, but I'm saying you're still not a GOAT. I would have just liked those kind of added layers.
I guess if we all knew when the man was born.
That's what I'm saying. If he spoke about that, did he find that out? Did he do some research? It would have hit harder for me. But
maybe he wasn't like Capricorn to GOAT. Maybe he did do all of that and it didn't work, so he just went with the 2 layers instead of the 3. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know when he was born.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I saw some of those. But yeah, what's the next one?
Next on the card, I believe, looking at my 7,000 pages of notes, pretending I've got something in front of me, I'm guessing it was.
If I ever catch a case, I'm calling Jen to bail me out. Still, Jen with the paperwork.
Listen. Jen can't function without paperwork. If you know the notes upon notes upon notes that Jen has, like Jen can't function without notes. And right now I've got so many notes. I don't know what's next. So I'm going to keep talking until I find my right page and we'll know where we are. No, it wasn't Shuffle T versus Soul because I went out of order. What was next? Someone tell me in the comments. What was next? What?
iKid and Deviant.
There we go. On job. iKid and Deviant. I also judge this one. So we've heard my opinion. Let's go to YD. What are you saying about this one? No, hold on. Breaking news. Sam hypes this chick is really cool. So Bizzo's whole round doesn't count.
I didn't give him
basically.
No one said she's not cool, but
basically.
So
yeah, no, go on. I just have to interrupt with the breaking news.
iKid Deviant, I watched this battle twice. It was quite close. It was quite close. On the first watch, I had it where I gave it to iKid, but on the second watch, I'm kind of leaning more towards. I just remembered Deviant had a bit of a stumble in I think in the second that kind of.
I'm thinking to mute your stream right now, YD.
Why?
Because I can't believe what you're saying. Carry on.
I'm being honest. On my first watch, I had it. I get to iKid. iKid was because of the choking. Like that was kind of rubbed it out a bit for me. iKid had a bit more lines as well that were kind of memorable. Deviant was talking to him though. That's the only thing. Deviant was talking to iKid for the whole 3 rounds, but the stumbles and kind of lack of punches for me was why I was edging it towards iKid. But on the second watch, if I take away the stumbles, I edge it to Deviant, especially with the 3rd round.
What?
Yeah, like should we meet him, Trubs, and tell him why that 3rd round is not a battle round?
I said, yo.
Be honest,
right? Tell him, Trubs. Hold on. No. You said what you said, bro.
Listen,
Trubs,
you see Deviant, yeah? You see Deviant, yeah? Deviant is much better than that, man. Yeah, you can say he was talking to him. He was talking, but he wasn't saying nothing.
He wasn't
tell him, Joe.
He wasn't saying. See, Deviant's delivery can put me to sleep, fam.
Nah, but I'm
You
listening.
see,
Definitely on the
Shotty,
second
because
watch.
Steve
On the
Mint put
second
me to
watch,
bed. Shotty was live
Bro,
there with the hot
yeah, yeah.
toddy. He was live there with the hot toddy, like.
On the first watch, I said I clear straight to iKid, but I'm saying on the second watch, I can hear a bit more for Deviant.
On the
I
Because I'm
fourth
can.
listening.
watch, I'm even more clear that I kid body that man and won every, like, on the fourth watch, I'm like, shit,
Yeah.
should I really have given Deviant the first round? Because I kid did choke. However, his material was
Was
leveled
yeah,
better
yeah,
than
yeah.
Deviant's. I gave
Obviously,
I kid the first because he was, I gave Deviant the first because he was clean
Mm.
and he was direct.
obviously, me and I could. Obviously, everyone knows we Barbarians, same team and all of that. But it's not even no bias at all, in it. Like, I really told iKid, if you go all the way to Manchester and you lose to Deviant, we're gonna have a problem, fam. He started
Yeah,
writing on
he
Monday.
said that in his bars. He said that in his
Yeah, he
bars.
started writing on Monday. And when I
Yeah.
hit him up on Monday, I said, "Yo, let me hear your shit, bro." Man said, "Oh, I'm actually just starting writing. You know, I ain't got nothing."
Joe's got
I
a very
said,
good point.
"Fam,
No, hold on.
Hold on.
I wasn't even going to interrupt you, Trubs, until YD read the comment and said Joe's got a very good point.
Very
All right,
good point, yeah.
I'm going to address this. Joe has a great point.
You see,
I'm
when
gonna
you do
bring-
the
I'm gonna-
third rounds like that, you gotta spice it up. You gotta
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, you gotta make it relevant. You still bro, like
you got to find a way to bring
your
it
level
to
of
your
writing,
opponent.
the level of writing has to be top notch. Like
Top notch,
to
it's
me,
got to be-
he just said what he said in rhymed words in it. That's
That's what he was doing.
And it had nothing
I'm-
to do with iKid except you had a kid in COVID. Please, let's not compare
You know what?
B
That
Dot
one
and
kinda
Oops'
touched me
third
still.
rounds
That one
to
touched me.
Deviant spoken word 2020 was shit.
He
Let's not do
sacrificed
that.
it. He sacrificed it. So he said it himself. It's a sacrifice.
There
So
are
just
some
like-
sacrifices which
I'm
aren't
saying
worth making.
on the second listen, I could hear more of what David was saying, and even in the second, he was talking about. I think he was talking about I could have a battle with a girl, and I like that. I like the approach and the angle that he was doing. But with the
I could send me the first round, and I could send me the first round on Wednesday to battle on Saturday, and I said, "Bro, you're running out of time.
yeah, you won.
Just
you won.
punch, just punch, just punch,
Yeah.
just punch. Forget it, just punch." And he done that, and he done that. You get me? To me, I give one
I
free.
tried to give him
Bars
some. I
on
tried to give
bars.
him some grace. I tried to
No,
give him some
don't.
grace.
Nah,
innit?
No, we
bro,
have to.
I
We
tried
have
to
to
keep
be
it real,
real.
man.
I
I like
be
Deviant
real.
as a person. Don't get it twisted, but as a
Joe,
battle on that particular battle,
when I
it
listened
was
to the
trash.
second round, I liked the way where he was going with it, but it's like, okay, when we get into the main part of it, like the juice,
There
of
was
it,
none.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Read
I
Bizzo's
liked how he
point.
started it, but and that round
Read
was
Bizzo. All Deviant needed to do was end that round with Merry Christmas,
done-
and he
I'm
will,
done with that.
like, he wouldn't
I'm
have
done
won
with it.
mine. And my heart
done with
isn't up of stone,
I'm done
but
with it.
I'm a battle fan. You're
I'm done with
battling. Have you
You
heard
see
I'm
what
gonna
what
be
Shorty?
honest.
You see what Shorty done
I
that?
don't- I
She
think
what
I've
Shorty
only
just
got
said there.
one line.
That's why I didn't like it, because that's exactly how we came across. I'm like, soon as man
Right.
saw that, I said, you tried to copy what someone else does. That means you ain't even got your own identity, cuz. You ain't even got your own self, fam. But you are Apex.
Tell him,
Nah,
Chubbs.
man. Man ain't co-signing that. Man ain't
Tell him,
co-signing
Chubbs.
that. Like.
Tell him. Yeah, no, for me, like, there were so many things kind of wrong. Your delivery was trash. You choked. No, let me not. I pray to never use that word trash in that. I can find better words. My vocabulary is better than that. Your delivery wasn't great. Your enunciation and projection.
We know what you mean. It's cool.
That sounded
No,
worse.
let me not just, like, I don't have to use the word trash. There are more
No, do you know
specific
what?
words that I can
You
use.
can
People,
use
no,
that.
you know why? Because trash is a knee-jerk word.
I
So I'm
respect
not going
it.
to use knee-jerk words. I'm going to say your delivery was poor and your enunciation could have been a lot better. You choked. Also, there were no punches. It was a spoken word piece. It wasn't direct. You gave compliments to your opponent. You said, bro, you had a baby in a pandemic. Big up to you. You gave love. Like, it's a battle. I don't watch a battle for love. I watch a battle for you to systematically tear apart your opponent. I know the year I've had. I'm living it. I don't want to hear about it in this unless you are using it to strategically take apart your opponent and you're not Briggsy said it in the I think he judged this one, and he said, bro, send me the spoken word piece, I'll upload it to the channel, and I beg you give me a third round, because that's what I paid you for.
You know what it is? I like spoken word, so maybe that's what it was, isn't it? Maybe I just, by the end of it, I just.
But that wasn't even good spoken word, though. You see, Scoop does spoken word. Scoop's been doing spoken word.
Right? That's it. It wasn't even good as spoken word piece. Troy says in my third round for Gem, I'm going to talk about them melting ice caps. You know?
Come on,
we're in a global catastrophe right now. Clearly, that's what battle rap's about. Kumbaya. It's about the kumbaya moments. It's about making us live better lives and, you know, love our fellow brethren.
Shrey said, wanna be dot.
do you reckon he wrote that down?
Hey.
You reckon he actually wrote all of that down?
Yes, he did, fam. Yes, he did, fam.
Do you reckon he freestyled it?
Nah,
is that what you're trying to say?
It didn't rhyme. It didn't rhyme. It was just, yeah.
I didn't even notice, bro.
It's just...
That's why you wrote that round, fam. You wrote that. What did Soul Cheetah say? You wrote that. You rehearsed that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you said that. Yeah.
You said that, and he meant that. There you go.
Oh,
shout out you too, man.
I tried to come in here and give it to iKid 2-1, but you're not letting me slap.
I still gave it to iKid 2-1 because I gave Deviant the first because iKid wasn't clean. He was choppy, and Deviant was clean, and he was direct. But even on the look back, I'm thinking, in terms of where I rank a sloppy round and your round was clean and it was direct, but it wasn't hard hitting, like it's super close.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that third round, I might go back and look at the first round and think, you know what? If Deviant got that third, I can't not give iKid the first because you were too good for 2 rounds. And Deviant doesn't deserve the win. Even if Deviant had a hard third round, I'm hammering home points. I really don't need to hammer home because Deviant did what he did. So I don't need to make it sound any different than what it was, but you did that. And whenever, like, even if you've got a B dot, oops, third round, where you're talking that real shit that resonates with everyone, you're direct, you're relevant, you're contextual, like with what's going on in the, like, even still, you risk losing that round because you're kind of giving a lot of it away. This wasn't that.
No.
So.
It wasn't at all.
What can Deviant take from Oops in order to improve himself? Well, I don't think that anyone should take anything from anyone else to improve themselves.
That sounds like that's what the problem has been, is that he tried to do something we've seen others do, and it just didn't work, you know?
That's it. Like, literally right now, if you know what battle rap escapism is doing for me, I don't want to hear how shit 2020 was.
I mean, when he started talking about like having a baby in 2020, I thought he was gonna flip it into like a gun bar or something. You know what I mean?
Listen,
yeah, shoot up your baby.
I always say this. Yeah, if you choke or you stumble, you lose points. I don't say you can lose a round though. Personally, I say if it's a close round and you choke, I might say you lost that round because I gotta give credit to preparation. Now, if it's not a close round and I still deduct points from you, but I still skip your round and I still listen to that after, especially because the choke was at the beginning, so I can still listen to iKid's round, but I would skip Deviant's round. To me, then I would still say, my man, one in it, iKid, one in it. It's just how I feel, bro.
Yeah, no, I think I'm being overly critical.
I wouldn't want to listen to Deviant's rounds again.
Yeah, no, I think absolutely, and that says a lot about my judging. You're right, because it wasn't a choke. I think there were 2 stumbles. I think there was a stumble at the beginning and somewhere towards the end. I could be wrong, and I'm being super critical because Deviant allowed me to be. Let me say Deviant allowed me to be, but his material just wasn't strong that I could be extra critical on iKid and nitpick Whereas if Deviant's material was really good, I could sort of weigh it more evenly. I'm more like, like that teacher who's like, I'm being tough because I
Nah, I
care.
get it.
Like,
And
the black
I
teacher in
know.
school.
Yeah, yeah, and I know what Ike done. Ike basically he finished writing pretty much on his way there, so he sent me third round in that morning. So then he was focusing on his second and third so much because that's what he finished writing last that he forgot how the first started. That's
Oh,
why
good
the
point.
stumble happened.
Good
So
point.
I know the process in it. Like
Yeah.
I get it. Like you was focusing so much on trying to remember your shit for the second and third that you forgot how the first started, which was what you wrote by Tuesday. Which no
Yeah.
excuse for prep for late preparing late in it. Like I told him I'll go on to him as well. I said, yo, you got like 6 months to prepare for this.
Yeah.
You get me?
Facts.
Like like
That's
6 months
it.
to prepare
Talk to
for
your
this. So
boy.
why are
Because
you?
No
that's what it was.
way.
Preparation.
Yeah, like
Preparation. And there's no
that's
need
not.
for that. That's sloppy. And you have to come to 2-1. I'm thinking about recanting my 3-0. No, 2-1. Deviant should have won that shit. You were sloppy.
Yeah,
Be better
so
prepared. No,
yeah,
you
no
shouldn't have won.
facts,
But
facts.
yeah, no, you're right, Trubs. If you've got 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, and you've written in a week, you're winging it. And if you can,
Blood, that's another thing. Deviant on his third round, if you had holiday plans, listen, if you can afford to have holiday plans, you're not struggling, bro. Like, and that's the thing, like, you're acting like it's a mad struggle. It's a mad struggle that your holiday was cancelled. Nah, like, that's not poverty, you know?
facts, tell
Like,
them.
see where I come from? That if you could even afford to book a holiday, bro, that's like
You're
you're out here.
winning.
Look and see where you to miss their birthdays, fam. Do you think that's
I
struggle,
have to, I
cuz?
have to keep this up.
Come
I
on,
have to
man.
keep this up.
Come on, man. A man try to
Have to keep
say,
this up. Facts,
I mean,
Rizzo.
it would have. I mean, from what you said as well, Chuck, it sounded like I could kind of predicted that Deviant wasn't really going to come like with it. You know what I mean? So I would have been interested to see how he would have came if he actually took it proper seriously. You know what I mean? And
This is the
but he
point.
got him
Battle
out
Rap
of there.
Twins. Salute
He got
Battle
him
Rap
out of there with
Twins. I haven't done it yet tonight, and I have to do it every single time. Oops does it differently. He intertwines real events and able to flip it on his opponent.
yeah.
That
That's
yeah.
what I thought he was going to do.
difference.
Shorty
So
just hit the nail on the head there. He said Deviant basically writes like he spits like he's reading. It's true. He's reading his shit out.
That's
Like,
it. Yeah, I
like,
said that. It sounds like you're
I'm good.
reciting.
Yeah, I'm good on that. I'm good on
This
that.
is like me. My dad is like, "Have you remembered that poem?" And I'm like, "Yes, Dad." Matilda told such dreadful lies that make one gasp and stretch one's eyes. Her answering from her earliest. You can
Yeah.
hear that I'm trying not to forget. I'm trying to say this as fast as I can, and you can almost hear the wheels turning, and it's off-putting.
And that choke was really, really dirty. Like he was like there was a lot of that. Like there was a lot. Like he was reacting to his own choke. Like
Did he want to make the Charlie Clip sound? Is that where he was going? Is that what you're trying to do?
and then
Like
he
in Britain, we
sacrificed
don't
his
make them
round.
noises. We
I
just
think that's what he was doing. He was copying Charlie Clips because he sacrificed his round and he had the choke. Like you know what I mean?
But anyway, let's not go so in on them, man. Still, let's move on,
yeah,
man.
no, for real. But also no, it was like iKid had some real shit in there as well. We haven't even talked about the shit iKid
But
had.
this is what I was gonna say.
That Amsterdam bar.
Fire.
That real talk bar. Like, yeah, you gave a whole battle to BLM, but like this is black on stage, black on black.
Yeah.
And you're gonna die, blood. Like,
and that's it as well, because he kind of counteracted his third round straight away, like out the gate. He just counteracted that. But iKid, his bars were coming from a real place that I feel Deviants couldn't come from in terms of like conviction or anything. And it, like we were saying, I got stabbed 2 times for my boys. Imagine what I do for the fam. Like, I felt that when he said that.
Yeah.
Like, you believe that. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I don't know if Deviant can say anything that's gonna hit harder than that in his whole battle. There was nothing for me.
I think I wrote in capital letters. I felt that after that line, because there's certain lines that you do feel. Like I didn't feel any of that pandemic shit, but I felt that, and I got no business feeling it. Like I'm, middle-aged woman over here with grown children. Like I've got no business feeling that, but I didn't feel that pandemic shit. I'm going through it.
Yeah.
And
Different.
I
It's
think we should
different.
punch
But
them
let's
out.
to not dwell on Deviant and iKid, or not to dwell on how, you know, that third, or to really shit on anyone, because that's not what we're here trying to do. I'm saying all of this because I'm trying to find my notes and see what the next battle is.
But
Why don't I have a list?
at the same time, it's good that us media basically hold the battlers accountable for their performances. You get me? So it's not impersonal. It's all love. We just want to see better from you. That's all. You get me?
Give us the material we can talk about it positively. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For real. Was Raptors versus Rivers next?
That's
All right, let's go.
this one's cold. This one's fire. This one's fire.
This one
I
might
feel
be
like
my
we need to
favorite.
like let the last round, like the last battle, breathe before we even move on to this one. Like I need to
This
pour a new
one's
drink.
this one's fire, man. This one's fire.
This
Yo,
might have been
this battle
this might have been my favorite one. This might have been my favorite one.
It is my
certainly
favorite one of the
mine.
night.
Who wants to start with this then?
I don't mind.
I've just got
Go on,
bars.
Buddy.
I've just got bars. I've just got bars. So
Right, yeah,
go
no.
through,
With this,
bro.
like that.
let me just add in a disclaimer. With this one, I've literally got, I think, 4 pages of notes or something. No, I've got like 5 or 6, and I can't even go through half of my notes because there's no point buying the pay-per-view after
If
that.
you're gonna
Like there
go
was
through the whole
so
bars,
much,
Yeah.
yeah. Like there was so much
This-
in this.
This battle
This is
alone was worth the pay per view.
Tell them, Chubbs.
facts.
100%. I literally. Where's my 1, 2, 3, 3.5 pages of fucking notes. Damn.
Mad.
Go, take it ahead. Take it ahead. Go ahead, YD. Take it away. Something like that.
Getting through all of the bars, I think Raptor came out the gate. Raptor, I never heard Raptor before. This is my first time hearing him, and I was very impressed with his rapping ability. Very impressed with it. Like he had a little part in there where he was, I think, it was angling with Rivers about.
Hold on. Let me just back up. Did you say this is your first time hearing Raptor?
Yeah,
We got some homework to do. Carry on.
yeah, my first time hearing him. But yeah, his whole angle on like Rivers kind of return to Premier League Battle Club, that was sick as well. But it's just the way he was rapping it. And he had a part where he was like, scratch that, change the record. Like I like that. Like just importing those little parts into your, like changing your cadence and your flow. And
That was fire.
Like,
that was
he
fire.
was crazy. Like that was the first thing that kind of like just perked me up there. And then with the rest of his punches, he was kind of like he was going along with the whole angle. You know, what I was saying something about management kicked off, gave him the boot like David Beckham. You know, I appreciate those ones where you're talking like you could in that position you could swap Rivers and David Beckham in either team and the situation would make sense. You know, so I appreciate that.
Perfect analogy. Yeah.
Appreciate that. You know, I don't want to give away too many of the bars, but yeah, I got a couple more on there.
Let us know who you had winning each round still.
Yeah,
you know winning each round?
Let us know, like, and in the comments
okay.
as well. Like, let us know.
Yeah.
Good. What's up? How we doing? We're doing good. We're on Raptor. And
I can still hear you, and I'm here. Just 1 second. But yeah, go through. Let us know who you got winning.
I mean, Rivers had the next one part. He said Rivers had a little rise. Did you expect them to break the bank? So he's still going on that same kind of angle. And this is what I'm saying. Punches that kind of hit home. I like those. There was one part, only one slide on Raptors round that I noticed where, I mean, maybe I wrote it down wrong, but he said something, I'm Die Hard 2 and I'm a take a vengeance. Now,
let me pause a second, because this hit for me.
Okay.
Because I know what Die Hard is. I know what Die Hard with a Vengeance is.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I go. Like, I have to look up 90% of movie references if they're not like Belly or Friday or something. But Tom from Battle Rap Resume pulled me up on this. Say what you're going to say.
So for me, I mean, it's along the scheme, but Die Hard 3 was Die Hard with a Vengeance. So yeah,
I didn't realize that passed me. Yeah.
So I caught that kind of straight away, but it was enough to note down because I still liked it. But I'm just sometimes nitpicky like that.
Yeah,
but,
no. I think any diehard fan would have noticed that. Me as a sort of a very, very casual, I'm like, yeah,
I
Die
mean, if he
Hard with a
said something like
vengeance.
"I'm Die Hard 2 and now I'm back with a vengeance," if he said something like that, it would make sense because you're saying "I'm Die Hard 2 and now I'm back with a vengeance." Like now it's like, okay, I've heard.
Simple. Look at you fixing Raptors bars. Go on,
Nah,
my
nah, nah,
dude.
nah,
No,
nah.
for real. That literally, those extra couple of words in there would have made
That would
it
have told it definitely
hit for
that would
everyone
have definitely.
and not just for people like
You know
me
what?
who.
He might even have wrote it like that, but sometimes because I can see this to myself. Sometimes I
True.
wrote it a certain way, but just when I'm delivering, I'm so into it, I might have just missed one word that just literally just opened up the whole bar for me. You know. Then we went into oh no, I
Don't
had
move
another
on
one.
to the second. Don't move on to the second.
Yeah,
Are you moving
no.
on?
Well, I haven't touched on Rivers on the first yet.
Okay. Oh
Then
yeah, shit.
we still got
Look
some
how
rounds
much
from
Raptor
Rivers.
had in the first.
This is it, and
Right?
this is it. Rivers came out the gate talking about. I like that he kind of preempted what Raptor was going to talk about in his first, and he was saying he's like you're spreading this false narrative that the domino effect fall in line. I liked what was going on there, and he was talking about. And I think he's saying like anytime Raptor battles, this bitch high on the poles like a private lounge. I like that. Because bitch high poles private, like it's just all
small room,
all connected.
You were supposed to
and
compile
well,
corpses for Shotty, he said. Yeah.
But
that whole
snorting
bit
with
there.
Bobby had your performance. Hey. Yeah, Rivers was
Tell him.
Hey, listen, he was
Tell him.
and he had the next part where he was like,
Yo, what the fuck?
he was saying like Riches is guilty of like truancy, so that's like skipping school. And then he said, then he started talking about, I don't know if he was talking about his daughter, and then he said he ran in and put a blade to her, and then just like dad, she's cut in school. And then he was still kind of on that because he was like, I graduated above that class B cap and gown, so he still
the scheming. Rivers' scheming was yeah. Carry on, sorry.
Last two that round I had to note out where he said, I'm on your doorstep pushing the envelope. Now I like that talk. That's the talk I like, because we're talking battle rap. You're saying I'm at your neck on this battle rap and I'm pushing the envelope, and it's all in the scheme again. You know what I mean? And then remember, you got at your doorstep pushing the envelope, and then he had we're financing yards like pest control, which was like my favorite line.
That was cold. That was
might have been. That was one of my favorite lines of the night.
Literally, yeah. I think it is my one. I think it is
financing yards like pest control. What we doing, Rivers?
Financing yards like pest control.
Do you want to, Chubb, do you want to take this first round from both of them before we move on to the second?
Oh, we're doing round per round. All right.
Well, I kind of think like this one needs, like I've got, like I said, 3.5 pages. So we're going to do it round by round.
You lot know me. I don't take notes in it. Whatever you can make me remember, that's what's going to stick with me, and I'm going to go with it. You get me? I'm one of them ones. It's your job to make me remember stuff in it. So that's how I'm running it. So, boom. First round, I felt like Raptor had a very good angle, which it could have been a very peak for Rivers, because basically what Raptor is saying is, this is my house. Like this is that's how I took it. That's how I took it. This is my house. You messed up. You tried to affect my house. You get me? So that's what I took from it. And I like how Rivers came back with the. I think Rivers. He didn't stay too long on the obvious angles for Raptor.
100%.
And I think that was very important. Had Rivers stayed too long on them on the obvious angles for Raptor, it would have been curtains for Rivers.
Especially as Raptor really touched on that effectively later on.
Exactly. Exactly. So I gave the first round to Rivers, man. I can't remember if it was the first or second, but when he said the statue like to me set in stone, like to me,
I think that's the second.
whatever in it. Like I just think
Fire.
I gave the first round to Rivers.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say my edged Rivers for it because for me it was very, very close. But where Raptor had that angle and Rivers kind of came out the gate, kind of just diffused it, and then didn't stay too long on it, as you said, and just carried on and just.
It's like what Shorty said on the stream, innit? It looked like they man had a conversation, innit?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like they had a conversation, and I think
Exactly
who went
I was
first,
about to say
actually played a big part on this battle.
Definitely.
The coin toss actually played a big part on this battle. Because now, if you
Agreed.
watch this battle the other way around, it would look then like Raptors rebutting Rivers.
And right now it looks like
Rivers is rebutting
and because
Raptor.
their
So
material is so
cold.
it looked like Shotty said, not only did it look like a conversation that rhymed, I think I said on Bat Rap Resume, it looked like watching a live therapy session, like between two brothers.
A conversation that needed to happen.
Yeah, conversation that needed to happen. And their angles were so, like, it was such a direct battle that when you have such direct material against an opponent who you've got not so much history with, but you've got a lot of history, they've got a lot of history, and you're directly talking about that history, it just is gold. Like, it just literally looks like you say, and it really makes a difference on who goes first, because basically one person is rebuttaling another without you having written rounds together. Like, it just,
Facts.
you're telling us the story. And who gets to go last does make a difference. But I gave this round to Raptor just because I don't think Raptor had, in that first round, like, I don't want to hear no loose chat. You clawed back licking at your old wounds before they had grown scabs. Are you fucking serious?
Thing is, Raptor can rap. Raptor can rap.
He was rapping.
I don't know if you lot seen the old school Raptor versus Big Cannon. Like YD, you said it's the first time
Someone
you've seen
said
Raptor.
that.
Go and check that battle. Raptor went all the way off. Yeah, man. YD's kind of new in the game in terms of UK battle rap, so it's good that we're getting him on these streams, so you get to see certain things that happened back in the day. You get me?
Now there's a lot of people on this event that I'm going to be checking out.
This first round, like, Rivers was really. I mean, Raptor was, well, they were both talking to each other, but for me, Raptor was just so cutting, so direct. Literally, nothing that he said wasn't a diss to Rivers. You never was a champion. You're no more than a paper template. That hold on, wait a second, scratch your, like that thing. I think you quoted that. The way you did that, fire, like fire. Because Rivers had a little rise. Did you expect them to break the bank? I think you quoted that as well, YD. The Shotty fighting to get control of his captain like a crimson tide. This is how you rap. You're rapping, you're making references, and still they're contextually hitting. Like, you're hitting on levels.
Tired one, but now that you just repeated it, I've understood it.
Because
it's
and these things, like, I have to, like, certain things, like, I kind of know the plot of Crimson Tide. I haven't seen the film. When I go to Wikipedia, and Wikipedia literally within the first 2 lines tells me that, you know, the Crimson Tide is about a captain trying to take control of his ship when there's a second mate who's, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. And I like that as well because the punch of it is still on the whole angle. It makes sense, like, to do with the angle, you know?
Yeah, no, the whole thing, like, the quick, you decide, time ticking by, pick a side. The rapping on this was levels. I think Rivers really did well to respond. That looking past Briggsy like anyone over 4'9", like a little bit of humor in the beginning to sort of, you know, ease the crowd into it. And who doesn't laugh at that? No shot to Briggsy. I'm sure you're not 4'9".
Yeah.
I know you're not 4'9", but you know, it's funny.
He responded on Twitter. He said, obviously, that battle needs to happen. I want to see that Briggsy versus Rivers.
Yeah, because there's history there.
Facts.
And that any battle with history, a storyline with a bit of tension, yeah, no, sign me up, 100%. I'm there. Rivers telling him like battle rap has changed. It used to be intensified, and it's now half comedy, half gentrified. Fire. Like the gun, I've got the gun bars, but I've got a crazy heart, ethic wise. I compartmentalize. I'm not going to go through and spoil every bar, but it like the adrenochrome bar was in that first round as well. Fire. The ants in yard like pest control was in that first one. I have to spoil this. For Dark Souls, Sage, keep the spirits level. Like he had a devil scheme in there.
Fire.
Oh, that was
Fire.
Wait, I had that down in the. I think was that down in the second round? Because when
It was
Rivers
the first.
was like, I remember when he said something about killed yourself in front of soul like demon possession. I heard that part.
I think that might have been in the second, but he had a whole
sort
of scheme in that first bit. The Dark Souls, keeping your spirits level, selling your soul. I think that might have been the first. That bar that you said. Maybe I'm wrong. And that paleontology scheme. Now, I'm sure Raptor's probably heard a paleontology bar before. And I think someone mentioned that. It might have been Poison Pen. Someone said that in the judging, that I'm sure Raptor's heard that before. And I'm sure I've heard a Raptor paleontology bar. However, Rivers was scheming a paleontology scheme, that whole thing. It wasn't just one bar. But I still gave it to Raptor because that first was just, it was similar to like a Mook versus Tay-Rock. That very strategical. I'm talking right to you. I'm telling you about this situation. I'm not talking about anything else. It was so direct. I had to give that to Raptor. Fire. But let's move into the second because
I'm not mad at any round people give Raptor because Raptor went all the way off still. So
he had a short second.
Very short.
He had a short second and he addressed that. Yeah, no, it literally was 2 minutes. When I went back today and I'm looking at times, his second was 2 minutes. And I think he said, I'm sure I remember, he said in the commentary that he cut short his second, but he finished it in the third, and he did have a longer third, and he didn't have much in the second. It was good. What he did have was good.
That just point out that that's vet stuff. When you can point out, you can finish your second short, but then you can know exactly where you stopped at and bring it back on the third. That's vet stuff. That's vet stuff. It needs to be applauded because I've been in the ring, so I know exactly how hard it is. I can't do it. Like if I've got my first, second, I know I just keep reciting in my head exactly how my first starts or my second starts. I can't think of that's too much to do, man.
And I did notice in the third. I did look at the third and think, hold on, something's not right here. Yeah, you didn't notice in the third that wasn't a complete third round, and that was a bit of the second plus the third.
I didn't notice none of that. Not at all. He just seemed, and I gave him the third personally, but we'll get to that.
Okay, yeah. But no, in the second, he still had it was the 2 minute round, but he had that fax machine in there. I didn't like, he impersonated Rivers, and I think he did a really shitty Rivers accent. And I think when Rivers does impersonations really well.
That's not fair. Rivers can impersonate
really
you.
Well.
Rivers can do.
I'm sure he could. I'm sure he bloody.
Rivers can impersonate anyone.
The Graham said, we'll get to that. But
that's a cheat code for Rivers still.
Which is why, when you know this, don't impersonate Rivers badly. Don't. Don't do it.
I don't think it was more. It wasn't even that. It was more. It was trying to bring up what he said against Chris Lee, innit? He's trying to say that he played out. he played out to the angle of you can't outstreet me. Yeah, you're from SW9, but I'm from Manchester. I'm from the bits too, innit? I felt like
Facts.
that was the angle.
The bar hit. The bar absolutely hit. Like I've got it written down. Like, and
I don't
you
think
said
you tried to make a good
you're
impersonation though. That's the
yeah,
thing.
but then don't impersonate. In my mind, like you don't have to put on his accent, because when you try and it doesn't hit, it kind of takes away from me a little bit. But the bars didn't. Like the bars that
Gen
you had for
strict,
Ribs.
yo. You lot in trouble. You Gen strict, yo. You
I'm
lot
kind of strict.
better.
The bars were fire. Like for me, if you didn't put on River's accent, you wouldn't have given me any room to take away points. You did, so you gave me the room. Your bars, what you said, like, and the I'm stepping down to battle you. You're stepping up to battle me. Fax machine. What can I say? But like,
I
have
can
to
write
take-
everything you fucking did on the betting slip, and
That's
then
it.
there's
And
still
still
room
have
to
extra
edit
room.
it.
That's it.
Yeah,
was
That's
good.
it. I don't need like. Let me hear that in your accent. Like, don't do Rivers. Like, it just gives me room to take away points because that bit wasn't good. What you were saying, straight fire. Like, fuck with the whole of that. But that was gone, my
I'm
D.
gonna
Tell
say
me.
when you said about I can write down everything you done on the betting slip and edit it. I'm not sure how far after, but that's what he said something about. There's a gap between us, Rivers, one that you could never bridge. He was getting.
We'll go with the flow, Rivers, so you can get the drift. Like he has shit in there.
He was getting in there.
Yeah, but it was super short. It was super short. Rivers then in that second, he talked about the Tony D battle in the first. You've already stood in front of a London champ, something about
Yeah.
lightened your outlook, like skin bleaching. You
And
took
then he went
two
on
shots.
to Soul.
Well, yeah, like he had. So, like for me, this was like kind of. I'm stepping down to battle you. You're stepping up to battle me. Raptors line versus Rivers. You took two shots. I missed one, but hit the target. Oh no, you took two. Sorry, you took two shots and missed. I took
I
one.
hit one and hit the target.
Like for me, those two bars kind of pit themselves against each other when you said that.
But then
Like, yeah, you're stepping up to battle me. However, bro, you had two shots. I've got one. Bullseye.
Yeah.
On to the next
there was
one.
a part that Rivers said. I think there was a part that Rivers said around that part where he was saying, "Is he playing both sides of the fence like David Luiz?" Now, obviously, I don't know much of the history.
That came after the Graham suit, like the Rivers always has to be a road man. That you did, has to be a road man, and he did like that was the game. I'm sure it was Graham Souness, like Andy, like it was football scheming, and then he's gone on to David Luiz.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Then he's gone into the David Luiz. Oh my god, I couldn't.
I'm sitting there like, what?
David Luiz is a defender that can play both sides in it. So
that's it.
Both sides of the fence. Both sides of the fence.
So no. Let me add the additional layer now. Let me show you why he's so hard. David Luiz come from Chelsea and plays for Arsenal. And as an Arsenal fan, I can attest to this. When David Luiz plays, and especially when we play in Chelsea, he also asks, is he playing the other side of the fence? Like, is he literally just trying to sabotage us?
Playing for Chelsea, playing for Arsenal.
What is he doing? Like,
because you don't go from London to London.
Not even that. His performances on the pitch, like he will give away a penalty. He's the one that got red cards. A lot of the time during the summer.
Who are you playing for, bro?
Us as Arsenal fans were like, is he literally been sent here to sabotage Arsenal? And look where we are in the league. So, you know what I mean? So that's why that
levels
real for me.
I really enjoyed Rivers' second round, the pull up and cook anywhere, cook for different markets. Battle rap systematically, Battle rap systematically flared you part of the program, stab me in a bar, they brush it off. Yeah, the angles.
Yeah.
So Raptor was very strategic in that first round, sort of breaking down the angles, the premier battles. Like, you know, you skipped off to Lolu's chat and you come up here trying to make your name back because it didn't work for you, Dad. The directness of this battle. And then in this second, like Rivers is saying, you're part of the program. Like, you can say anything. Like, you've literally stabbed a man. Like, you've gone to jail for stab. I say I stab a man. Like, it's part of the, or you say I stab a man, you stab a man, it's part of the program. I say it, I'm a road man. Like, that whole angle in this second, and where the round structure played in for me, because Raptor sort of has a similar take in his third, but for me, Rivers has already said in this second, it's different rules for you and different rules for me, bro. Like, you can be a street man. You can stab up a man. You can say, "Oh, what was the bar? I didn't write it down. I don't know why I didn't."
If you stab me in the bar, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but it was more. But yeah, it's like you said.
Yeah, no, I've got that. You stab me in a bar, they brush it off. I stab you. Typical Rivers always has to be a roadman. That was the Andy Gray thing.
Yeah, always have to be.
But there was something else in there before. But like that whole. Is he gang or geek playing both sides of the fence? David Luiz, like, yeah, that angle for me hit, tire off, get bricked up like a whipping Liverpool. Like, I'm literally seeing the Ford Fiesta like on the bricks, no wheels.
And calmly
like,
serve tickets.
The man there took that shit
like a traffic warden. Calmly serve tickets on the street.
That's it. Traffic warden. Benitez in that whole football scheme. Hold on, let me just. So he's done had to be a roadman. Graham Souness. Is he gang or geek? David Luiz. Add insult to industry. Before add insult to industry. Rafa Benitez in 08 had to get ridicule. Harry Kuehl.
Yeah,
injury prone.
Yeah. Now he said thinking the whole way till they get left miserable. Benitez in 08 to add insult to injury, you have to get ridicule.
Ridicule.
Yeah,
well, ridicule.
See,
yeah, that was cold,
bro. If he's getting injured as well, he's always getting injured.
Like, to add insult to injury, you had to get rid of ridicule. Yeah.
Kuehl was injury prone. Rafa had to let that man go. We're football scheming, but I'm talking to you, Raptor. We're football scheming because it's Premier Battles. Like, skills, man. Skills. Taking selfies while you're in the background yiffing yay or niffing yay. Spat fire at Yunnan. You spat in his face. Like, Raptors 2 minutes.
I think, like I said, I think Rivers did very well on not staying too long on the obvious angles.
Absolutely.
And then still punching on the second, but tailoring his punches towards his opponent, didn't it? And I always say this, even when I watch the newcomers and blah, 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 I always say this, that's what separates the tiers for me. That's what separates the tiers for me. Like, that when you can make a punch so sick, tailored to your opponent, that's cold, man. That's cold, man.
Yeah, facts. Salute Trap, my co-host.
You get me?
Right? It's Sunday, Henny. You know I can't talk on a Sunday. Salute to the Trap in the building. Good point. I don't know what a good point was, but I'm claiming that. It was a good swan song. We'll talk about a swan song.
The third.
My mama calling me in the middle of my live. But yeah, no, this was like, after this second round, I was sitting there like literally glued, like, oh my God, we are warring. We're warring. The way their angles were gelling, they were meshing. Like, for me, this was like, I love a battle with history. Like, don't just spit some random shit at each other. Like, the two of them were spitting real talk, real bars, real history. This is you, this is me. We're laying it bare here on a plate, like mano a mano, going into the third. Oh, hold on. I can't even go into the third without addressing that Rivers bar out here bragging about views someone else monetized.
Got that right there. You got a reaction from Raptor as well.
Because I think Sick had a similar thing against Chiller recently, and it's so true. Like, how can you big up yourself on these views, but like you're not even earning money from it, bro? Like, what you did?
Call yourself a kingpin if you ain't getting no royalties
from it. That's it. Yeah. Same sort of thing. Like, it hits home.
Yeah.
No.
And I felt like
you
that
got
kind
all
of
these views.
rebutted. Yeah. And I felt like that line alone was kind of a good rebuttal to his third round, though. To his third round, where he's basically talking about all the second round, where he's talking about his accolades. I've done more than you. I can write everything you've done on the betting slip. I think like you up here bragging about views that someone else monetized.
Facts.
You get me? I think that
And
was
again,
dope.
that plays into what you said. The round structure. Rivers went after Raptor. Raptor's just said all of that.
Yep.
And Rivers has the chance to come and say now.
I say this all the time. Sometimes when you watch the battles backwards, like not backwards, but when you watch the battles if Raptor had gone first, I mean, if Rivers had gone first, you'd have been a different battle still.
Yeah,
been a different
agreed.
battle. So the coin toss plays a part on certain battles still. In some battles it don't matter, but on this particular battle, I think it does play a part still. Because if you swap it, it does make sense.
They're talking about the same sort of stuff.
Yep.
It's like who gets the first word, who says it hardest, who says it last. Like all of those things really play in, and
and that's kind of like you gotta give credit to the battlers, to both of them, to even know what their opponent is going to say, to anticipate, or I know they're going to say this, so I'm gonna have this on there.
This is what I loved most about this battle, in that number one, clearly they respect their opponents 100%. Rivers respects Raptor. Raptors knows what Rivers can like. The respect is there. They wrote their fucking little hearts out for each other.
Facts.
And they also knew Rivers isn't coming, Raptor isn't coming with random filler, with some cold bars. Rivers is coming for my soul. Raptor is coming for my soul. I need to act accordingly. Like it was such a domestic drama. Like it really was. It really, like, that's why I called it like a therapy session. It was like literally watching your two uncles like going at each other live on Christmas dinner. Like, yeah, but you did this when we were 17. And yeah, but when I was 15, you did that thing. And that's why I did the thing when we were 17. It's all so personal.
I think as well, Raptor was aware of this. So credit to Raptor as well, because and I know when Raptor was present on that battle, when Rivers battled Baylor in Ireland, he didn't just come with gun bars and things like that. It was he came with very diverse material, and that's what made me think like, because I always look, I'm not gonna lie, secretly I always look at battlers like, how would I approach this person? How would I approach this? How would I approach that? And I always think like the way we still haven't, and I said this on my predictions, like we still haven't seen the best Rivers. Rivers hasn't showed us everything he's got on his locker, because when he went to Ireland and he battled Baylor, he showed us a different Rivers. He showed us a different Rivers. So then that tells me you've got more things unlocked on your locker that we haven't seen yet. So, but Raptor was aware of this though. Raptor knew, because on that battle with Baylor in Ireland, when the crowd was silent and Rivers is going off, you can hear Raptor in the background saying, yo, Raptor in the background is like, yo, like, you're not appreciating what Rivers is doing here. So Raptor was aware from early.
Yeah.
Raptor was aware from early what Rivers
The respect levels were there, facts.
Yeah, facts, man. Yeah, definitely a good battle, man. Definitely a good
So
battle.
going into this third, Raptor has cut short his second and has added on seamlessly to his third. So he's got a longer third. I think his second was about 2 minutes. His third is about 4, but he's finished that in, and he's got an awful lot in. And again, it's all personal. It's all direct. There's very little which isn't completely specific to Rivers.
Out the gate on round 3. So.
I disagree with that, you know. Oh? I think I disagree with the fact that Raptor wasn't as direct on his third. I see people saying that, but what I feel Raptor done on his third year was basically try to guess what Rivers' angles were going to be? That's why I was on his third, innit? So he's like touched on every single angle you've touched, and now I'm saying that there's a double standard here on certain
Facts.
angles here. So indirectly, there is a direction here. That's why I say like it's not as indirect as people think. What you tried to do was diffuse every single angle you used against me.
Yeah, no, actually, Chubbs, as you're saying that, I'm looking
But
at my notes and I'm thinking Raptors third was a very direct
it
round.
was genius.
It
It's
wasn't
genius.
necessarily direct, but it was totally like I'm looking at all my notes and they're almost all defensive. Genius, because
Yep.
you know what Rivers is coming with. And it's direct because you're responding to it.
And that's
Like, but
why
it's
I go
all
back to what I
defensive. It's
said on the
not
first
attacking.
round. That's why I go back to what I said on the first round. Had Rivers stayed too
Yeah.
long on the angle, on the obvious angles,
100%.
it would have been curtains for him. Because that round, that like I got Raptor taking the third round because of the genius behind it. I gave Rivers the first and second, and I gave Raptor the third in it. But I think what Raptor does on the third round is actually say there's a double standard here. Like you can touch on all these angles and get away with it. But if I say the obvious angles against you, people crucify me online.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What are you saying about this one, Whitey?
For this round, I mean, I felt like he was pretty direct as well. That's what I was about to literally say. Because, like, but then now it makes sense that you were saying he kind of might have started with the end of his second round, which obviously was definitely very direct. And just one of the standout lines from there I liked was where he said, "I got a knife, back it up, and point it in reverse." And just the way you're just his whole cadence and flow, the way he raps these stuff, it makes those kind of lines just hit.
Let me pick here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Could he have made that sound more Rivers than reverse? Because like I kind of listened to that back a few times.
I like that he kind of more emphasized the reverse side because I liked it anyway, and then probably half a second I was like, "Oh snap, reverse!"
Reverse.
I liked it. It was smooth for me. That was
okay. Yeah, no, it was nice.
especially
Either
with the
way,
build up,
whichever way he did it.
with it as well, with the build up for it as
That's
well.
it. Yeah. Agreed. 100%. That was fire. Pure fire.
Yeah, overall, I felt like
Got a knife, I'll back it up and put it in reverse.
I felt like it was a very nice angle that Raptor was coming with. What you guys call it the Swan Song. Obviously, without myself knowing too much of the history, I was just kind of like a new viewer, just taking in the information that they're telling me. And it was really, really good. It was really good. I felt like it will probably hit home for people that know more about the situation. That it will probably like each of the lines will hit home a lot more. But for me, there wasn't enough, like in terms of like punching at the end of these. I understood the whole angle and everything was great, but I would have liked if there was a bit more kind of punchlines related to that angle to really win that round for me, especially with what we're gonna get onto Rivers did in this.
Well, let me just address this then as someone who doesn't have as much history as I'd like, but I've got enough to kind of
because that's
like
that's it.
this. It was a very direct angle, like super or round. It was super direct, like like I live the life you've preached. Does he know how many prisons I've been? That shitted side, twisted mind, sick inside, sick of crying. There a river. Shoe goes on the other foot. Now I make a river cry for me. Like it was super personal. Like when you think about what they've been through, and then he also kind of had the why do I keep losing battles on these recycled, reusable angles, comments removed, pick and choose who you review at the panel? Like he's got this sort of angle in there where he's saying, I don't get judged the same as you do.
Yeah.
And it really Sorry, I'm hearing myself back and it's kind of tripping me.
Yeah.
You don't have the no, because that would be 10 seconds. No, all right.
But yeah, I found I like the angle. I understood the angle. He was saying stuff like, yeah, he was literally. I felt like he was listing out angles that had been used against him in previous battles, and I'm saying where I haven't had the wealth of knowledge of to actually research those battles yet. I felt like if I had those, it would have hit the same way it hit for everyone else in that room that knew. Oh yeah, yes, they knew exactly what he was talking about. It was laid out cleanly enough for me to follow it and to know what they was doing. And it would have been better to say Merry Christmas.
Yeah, listen, I don't know what's going on in the comments.
Merry business.
Oh, well, there you go.
Would have been
there you go.
better if we ended by saying Merry Christmas. Bizzo says my battle's in February. I'm ending it with Merry Christmas. Listen,
Merry
if you do
business.
that in February, you're a G. Yeah.
That's it. Prepared for the hospitality industry.
That's it.
Yeah.
New slogan,
and
Merry Business.
And that's what it was for me. It was. I wouldn't say it's a sacrifice because it definitely was not like devious at all. It was no way near comparable. But I felt like if he used that round to kind of still focus on like literally killing that opponent, it could have swung the whole thing for me. But that's I felt like the battle was won and lost in that round, and that's what just didn't.
So what rounds did you guys have then? So first round, Jen, you had Raptor.
I gave the first round to Raptor, last two to Rivers.
I'm being honest. I had it the 30. Being perfectly honest, I had it gentleman's 30 all the way through.
I'm not gonna lie. There is an argument.
I can take the argument. I can take any argument, any round.
Hold on, gentleman 32.
Not the second. I can't argue.
Because I could see this going either way. Like this is debatable. So gentleman 32.
First, I feel like the first round is probably the most debatable one for me.
Yeah, but I just need to know who you've got the gentleman's 32.
Oh, Rivers.
Okay.
Yo, sorry.
So you say that like it's not a debatable battle.
I thought I said Rivers. I said Rivers.
No.
Yeah,
maybe you did.
Rivers.
As I said,
the first round I felt like probably the most debatable. The third round, I can accept someone else saying they felt or related to or resonated more with Raptor's third round because they might have known a bit more of the history and maybe had a bit more attachment to it. But for me, just as an outsider looking in, came here to watch a battle, I had it gentleman's 30.
Nah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
The battle was an amazing.
I gave it 2-1 to Rivers, but I'm not mad that someone giving the third to Rivers as well because it was fired as well. So.
Oh, you preferred Raptor's third?
Yeah, I gave Raptor the third.
Raptor's third was fire. Like Bizzo here saying,
but
Raptor
just edging it. So I'm not mad at someone giving 100%. It to Rivers as well.
Yeah, and I can see why.
And I edged the first to Rivers as well, so I'm not mad at someone giving it.
And this is how.
But this is it.
We've all got it different.
That's it. I edged the third to Rivers, whereas I gave the first to Raptor. We've got that kind of flip me and Trubs because the battle is so close, and also because it's all so direct. I'm going to have to highlight some of this. The third Raptor. Like he's telling him, like he's kind of like, and again, this is where the angles play on each other. Like he's like, I've lived the life that you have preached. Does he know how many prisons I have been? That shit aside, twisted mind, sick inside, that whole bit. Like I'm riding with Raptor 100%. Like I'm.
We didn't even
sick of me. Hold on. Sick of me crying them a river. Shoe goes on the other foot. Now I make a river cry for me. Like that whole bit.
Yeah, fire.
Dope. Like your wordplay in there. Your like things are working on. Everything is working on 2 or 3 levels, and they're playing into each other, so it's hitting even harder. Like. The fact that he's saying like if you mention the cocaine, the contact center, it gets you extra plaudits.
Yeah, I like that.
Trubs has been saying the fact that Rivers touches, like he sprinkles. I'm gonna say a line about cocaine here. I'm gonna say a line about your daughter here. I'm not gonna dwell on it. And Rivers did that speaking to Rivers, that's a very conscious decision to not harp on those overused angles. So I thought, yeah, it was nice that Rivers, that Raptor mention those things, but for me, Rivers has kind of already diffused them a little bit. But the whole one rule for them, one rule for me, that third angle, I can see why Trubs might have that, because that third round really was super strong. Rivers third, that he had a sort of star solar planet scheme in there.
Yes, that's
that
what
stars
I like.
are only created by the weight of their own pressure.
Raptor even had to give him the respect for that one there, because
That whole fucking scheme, man.
Rock hit your world and fucked your whole city up. He carried it on like.
Then fuck the nitty stuff. It's star quality that makes us like-minded, up close and personal punches like Mike Tyson. Weight off my shoulders, got the right alignment. Then he does the sawn off shotty thing. Then
that was genius.
That was genius. The little
Raptor
triple punch.
Like for me, I'm watching that and I'm wanting to dab up the both of them. Like Raptor finishes Rivers' line. He doesn't have to do that.
He's lyrically inclined. He's lyrically inclined.
And you know that, and Raptor and Rivers knows that, and that's why for me, that's what edged it for me, because I felt like there was two lines in there where Raptor gave it to Rivers. He get on his own body language and his response and reaction. I felt like he gave it to him himself. That's me though.
Well, yeah, but for me, all right, I gave that round to Rivers anyway. But for me as a fan, seeing that moment, seeing Rivers, seeing like Raptor predicting, he knows the sawn off shotty bar is coming.
Because Tony done it. Tony
Tony did the sawn off shotty bar, and he's obviously predicting the bars, because I can't remember what Rivers said, but he knows the sawn off shotty is coming.
He said little pump.
Yeah, the mumble rap, little pump.
And come to destroy rap.
And
that's the triple pump.
What's the little pump?
But also for Raptor to give him that, for him to finish the bar, for then Rivers to laugh, for them to dap each other up. Like for me, seeing that's
great.
That MC camaraderie in there, like, yeah, Rivers, that was dope. Yeah, Raptor, that was dope that you said that for me. Like, we're fucking with each other here. It's the third round. We've both been spitting some shit. Like, I'm sitting there at home like, fuck. I'm watching it back on the third and fourth round and seeing that whole little interchange and the after effect. And for me, like, this is two MCs at their peak, spitting personal shit for each other. Raptors felt Rivers' material, Rivers felt Raptors' material, to the point where Raptor can't not give him the respect. Like, who finished? Like, you're not going to finish your opponent's bar unless you're giving him major props, and you know you're getting props back from him. Who does that? Like, I just felt like fans won that shit. Like, I gave that to Rivers 2-1. I gave Raptor the first, gave Rivers the last two, and I've got so many more bars from Rivers in that third.
We're not giving the whole battle away, man. There's too many.
Yeah, no, that's it. I don't want to, but also I could say a whole heap more and not give away 90% of it, but I don't need to, because let me see if there's anything that was stand. No, I tell you what I liked. I loved the deconstruct. Sometimes I pull out random bars and they really hit home. Do I deconstruct Raptor, or break down toxic masculinity, hogging the Heim? Like, this is like that whole little bit there he had where he's talking about Raptor personally, but he's also rapping. That was my shit. But this battle on the whole, for the tennis match that it was, for the bar fest, the sportsmanship and dance, salute to Joe Downey. Exactly that. It was a dance. And also the fact that it looked like they wrote together. Because their angles, their material was so interwoven. And also then at the end, so they finished, They've both relieved, and like the look on their faces at the end, the genuine sort of dabbing it up, like the respect that they had for each other. For me, this was my battle of the night by far, like by far, because this was a war. I don't think many of the battles on here were a war in the same way that this was. And we're going to get on to the next one, which would have been Shuffle versus Soul. Is that the next one? Yeah.
Shuffle versus Soul or Yunnan versus Matter, whichever one you want to
Well, let's do Shuffle versus Soul. We leave the title match to the end, and I think we'll do Shuffle versus Soul. And this was yeah, Raptor versus Rivers was my war.
Yep.
And was my battle of the night. For me, this and like the next two battles, for what I like as a battle fan, they didn't hit nearly as hard. Like they weren't nearly as exciting battles as the last one was.
Fair enough. I like Soul
Look
versus...
at you yawning.
Nah, that's
I didn't hear you yawn before. No, I didn't hear you yawn before. I saw you pour up that shit before Raptor and Rivers, and you didn't yawn, Trubs. You didn't yawn.
Allow me. No, it was a good one. It was a good one still. I like Shuffle. Shuffle and Soul. So good. I like Shuffle and Soul though.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this battle. I did. But for different reasons. Like I said, I thought the Raptor Rivers was a fucking battle rap war. Shuffle and Soul, I rate and respect for very different reasons. And going into this, I saw it very differently to I saw the Raptor Rivers. And for me, I'm going to say from the outset, I've given this clearly 30 to Soul. Just on preference, because this was these, as much of a style clash as you can get. And for me, when you've got a funny man, no matter how good and complex your funny is, when you're up against a rapping, spitting, venomous,
funny person.
Well, so is funny as well, but like when you're up against
it's crazy.
Funny has to be super funny and intelligent and layered and clever to beat bars for me anytime. And for me, Shuffle is an absolute genius. To me, like I said on the Battle Rap resume recap, like Shuffle takes the most complex of writing and makes it sound like fucking nursery rhymes. He makes it sound like Jack and Jill. Like that's a double-edged sword in and of itself, because you've done something really crazy and you've just made it sound like sing-song. So a lot of people aren't going to appreciate what you've done because you've made it sound so sing-song. But for me, as a battle rap fan, I'm not like, if I want to see slapstick, if I want to see humor, like I watch some television. I don't watch television. I watch battle rap to see two men fighting.
I used to be like that. I'm starting to learn to appreciate everything in battle rap now.
And I do.
So, yeah, fair enough. I'm just saying, I'm starting to try and appreciate. So I like what Soul done on his first round.
Salute, Capology.
I gave Soul the first round, and I'm not even. I edged Soul. I gave Shuffle the first round. I edged Soul the second, and I gave Soul the third. But that's because, but I'm not even mad at whoever gives Shuffle the second round though, because
Agreed.
It was the way he showed us he can still rap, and it was still Shuffle. That's what Shuffle does. Shuffle diffuses. Like see when Soul raps his ass off, Shuffle can diffuse all of that
in 20 seconds.
Yeah, man just pulls his phone out and has himself reacting to his own stuff. Like, not everyone can pull that off. You get me? Not
agreed. And this is why I say, for me, Shuffle is an absolute genius in what he does. And like you say, I didn't say this, but yeah, in being able to diffuse. that ability to sort of take your essence and in a few sing-songy, nursery rhymey bars, lay bare what you do. Like, that's a real talent. But
Yep.
for me, soul,
Soul's incredible. So
yeah. No,
I'm
soul
not
is
even gonna.
incredible. And like for the fact that like he started this saying, like, you've never said a bar unironically in your life.
Set the
And
tone.
he set the tone. He said that at the beginning of sort of
Fact.
every round, and every round it I think was it Shuffle Second? He had some real talk shit in there, but for the most part, that rings true throughout the whole 3 rounds. This is all parody, or not parody, but this is all ironic. Like, and Shuffle kind of played into that, and he couldn't not do that because that's what Shuffle does. But like for Soul, like that have your cake and eat it parodying the scene thing, like in the first, was super dope. That Iron Mike or Butterbean, the guy who broke the fourth wall, or the guy who built the other three, that sets, like he said a couple of things in this first round which set the tone for the whole battle, like that
Yep.
parody thing, like the first, or the never said anything unironic in your life. And I'm like, oh yeah, shit, for real. Like,
Soul had a
you
couple of
pretend
jokes.
that you sucks, can't have a judge battle, you wouldn't let yourself, but like that first round, Soul was really kind of talking to him and almost doing like the way Shuffle can neutralize and diffuse. The fact that Soul went first kind of took some of the steam in what he said out of Shuffle's humor. And that really, that if I don't make the cut after Shuffle, I can't deal with it. Right ambidextrously, right hand for punches, left hand for schemes, right,
Yeah.
everything about it I hate about him, and rhyme accidentally. I'm not going to give away any more of Soul's punchlines in that first, but for me, that was like classic Soul writing pen, like married to the game, you are battle rap friend zone.
He had bars in there. He had a lot of bars in there. There was one
Yeah.
part as well, because as I said, so he was mixing the bars with the humor as well. Like
Yeah.
he had this whole thing where he was talking about I think he was saying Shuffle goes to work, and he said he ciphers at the filing cabinet. I was just in stitches, like, because I've done that.
The imagery.
I've done that. That's the thing that he said. Cypher's at the filing cabinet. His boss comes in and says, "What are you doing?" He tries to clash it. I ain't done
The
that.
imagery.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah.
you can picture everything.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah,
he
word.
goes into those jokes and then straight back into the bars now. Straight back
That's
into
it.
the bars.
Yeah.
So that
Fluid.
was a performance. That was a performance. So was solid.
Yeah.
He was solid.
Yeah.
He had another line, but I don't know if it was the first or the second, but he was saying something about Dr. Crane, the fear gassed me up.
Yeah. That shit was some real talk in there as well. Like, I'm using this fuel for my fire. Like, I think that might have been the second. I don't know. I can't see it in my first. Fuck how many multis you can fit in these pages. You are washed up 2012. Internet famous.
Yeah.
Soul's really hard to beat, man. Soul's really hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, he said he taught Shuffle how to do multis or something.
That's it. Yeah, he did. That was one of the first things he said. But also with Soul, like, he had these fire setups and then killer punches. It's hard to beat. You never, for me, as a battle rap fan, you are with your jokes and you're ironic and you're clever, super whatever. You're not going to beat Soul. No way. Like I from the outset.
And Shuffle did rap as well, though. Shuffle did show us that he can rap, but
and he had some shit in there.
But he's just hard to rap with Soul, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely had some shit in there. That I kind of liked how, and this is classic Shuffle, he's talking to the audience, like and that whole how he starts, like, how do you get mad at positive feedback to Soul? Like saying almost the crowd is a detriment to you, like that's not heckling. Clapping's a positive sound. Like when you break down things so simply and like you kind of neutralize your opponent, like, yo, Soul, what's up? Like clapping's a positive sound, like so simple. The compliments battle bit, I rock with that, and he's saying like, yeah, I couldn't
I
even
didn't mean
compliment
it.
you. Like, I
I
only
didn't
wrote the
mean any
soul
of
quit.
that.
I only wrote
Yeah.
the quill bits. Like, that was dope.
Truffle was doing that breaking the 4/4 thing that Soul mentioned straight out the gate. He
And
was that straight away. Like
that's
he
it.
good at it. But I
And
really like that whole idea that he did, where it's like he preempted that. I'm guessing he preempted that Soul was going to say something like, "Oh, you're not good without a crowd reaction." So he was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
"I'm not good without a crowd reaction. That's
We'll
me."
get there to
You
the
know what?
second. We'll get there to the
Oh, we're not even
second.
there yet.
But
Okay.
that no, I love the shuffle. Soul is an anagram of lose if you spell it wrong. Like for me, that's classic shuffle. Like it's not a typical battle rap bar, but like it's a classic shuffle bar. You got talent on your computer and documents. You ain't got the confidence. They're wasting their oxygen. Made you a compliment. Pay you a compliment. Like that whole like shuffle is obviously the multis. That little bit in there for me,
That's
like
fire.
fire. But it's funny fire. It's ironic. It's parody fire. Like Soul just gave me fire. So you're not gonna win that. It's cool, but you're not gonna win it. Yeah, show in a second. That's when like he had the shuffle's worthless when he deals from the bottom of the deck. Cheaper, like he had this whole your material's cheap, like cheaper than devoted Christians switching to Jehovah's Witness close to Christmas. I've missed out quite a few bars in there, but or quite a few lines in there, but basically saying you're so fucking cheap as a Christian, like you turn Jehovah's Witness just to not have to buy Christmas presents.
Yeah.
That's how cheap you are. Like for me, that's the rapping sort of quality of you know. And he had in there the space ski, that Icarus shit, flying close to the sun, the highlight of the round. I don't battle for a year. You don't know the difference. He doesn't tweet for a minute. You think that he's gone missing. Breaking down the sort of the shuffle, like I rap and like I don't have to be hype. Like you have to be like you're such a gimmick and you're so such a parody rapper. You have to be in our faces 24/7 for you to be relevant. Like I thought that was dope. Like you're nothing without your podcast. He basically was selling him. Let's go through some of these comments. Shuffle had bars as well, though. Notepad is a mystery. No Agatha Christie. Yeah, I think that was in third. Dope. That was super. That whole bit there. Love that. Style clashes are the best. They will further UK battle rap. I'm going to touch on that in a second. I'm not sure. UK battle rap can be a mix of jokes and bars. Soul will always be top 3 of the UK of all time in the UK. Fact, Soul is amazing. How do you feel when Shuffle he rapped without the humor in his third? We'll get there to the third, in part of his third. Okay, clarify. I'm glad you clarified. Shuffle can rap well. He can. That was the whole Agatha Christie bit, and I really enjoyed that.
Soul got Tally. Okay.
Yeah, Soul got Tally, and also yeah, you need to check out that 4-hour stream, the bits in between. Soul said he's got Tally on No Douche Chat, as does Shotty on No Douche Chat. 2021, we got some super dope things coming up. Dude has Soul, Shotty, and Lotta Zay in the pipeline. Shout out to Tally. No Loose Chat. I want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. No Loose Chat, Visceral. Hope that happens. So do I. 100%. If we go into the third, we did the second, didn't we? Yeah. So Shuffle second. I like that. More fingers in pies than Sweeney Todd. It was in the second that he had that whole phone gimmick, which is classic Shuffle. For my opinion, it went on a little too long. Genius, absolute genius, and it really hit for me. But I would have liked if you didn't carry that as long as you did. I really liked him talking about soul, like you referenced the most observed shit, the physics teacher's flatmate, sister's niece's cat name. Fire. Like classic again, like so good for what it is. But I really rock with that. The phone stuff. And also in the second, he was kind of talking to him as well. He was talking about the Jefferson battle, the caustic shit. You couldn't smash a prawn cracker with Thor's hammer. Dope. I didn't like he was saying like the way he ended that never make it clear when I finished a round. Only Soul caught that. Like only Soul knew that like you'd finished a round. The rest of the crowd were like,
I
keep
think that
going,
was
keep
dope.
going.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
But yeah, now you're right, Chubbs. For real.
I think that was the whole point
For
of the
real.
thing still.
Yeah, no, for real. That's it. That's exactly it. I never make it clear when I finished a round. Soul knew because he's a battle rapper. The audience didn't, but that's the point. No, facts. I got that wrong. You're right. 100%. Going into the third then, Soul's third was full chock-a-block of movie and game references. And if it wasn't for so much, what was it, up, down, left, right type thing, or A, B, A, B, A, B, which I know.
Sounds like a cheat code.
Yeah. That
That's
whole
cool.
thing, I
I
did
heard
have
that
to
before.
look up. Yeah.
What did he do? I didn't catch the third. What did he do?
You couldn't have missed that. It was so he did he kind of riffed off the respect BA. And because BA is BA, AB, he then went on a whole controller scheme, AB, BA, BAA, whatever. What you write is triggering me. I like that. I thought that was dope. Before you got that, a step removed from your character, and Al Murray MC. How the fuck can you speak when you've always got your tongue in your cheek? Like for me, it was shit like that that really hit home for Soul and kind of exposed Shuffle's style for what it was. Because that's it. How can you spit some fire when you got your tongue in your cheek the whole time? Your parody, your irony. Like, what can you say? Salute, Smoke Kings. Big up. Thanks for tuning in. You need to cop this pay-per-view. There's Premier Battles, APEX2. We've gone through some of the fire battles. Like, you need to see this because, this was the UK super putting on. Best of Scots, right? The Soul had in there the chase for perfection. It's my Scottish accent. Sorry. Chase for perfection sent me crazy. I ain't been the same. Kevin Spacey's present in 7 made me a head case. Fire. Like I fuck with that. The whole Odyssey, Iliad, I'm Homer with the pros, Hector at the gates, like the whole Greek mythology, Trojan War thing in there. I like obscure, like I like stuff that hasn't been done before or isn't overused. Like I like when your references come from the Trojan War rather than a Die Hard 2 reference, which really should be Die Hard 3. Like you're referencing Homer and the Iliad, but enough that it's if you've seen what's the Troy film? What's the film
Troy.
with what's the film?
What, Troy?
Shit. Is it called Troy? What's the film? Which is it called Troy? Okay, no, that's it. If you've watched that, like you've got enough in there to like that whole third was film and movie, but it was still very direct, and I really fuck with that. The adamantium bar in there was fire. The whole soul scheme at the end, like the whole third of that thing was the soul scheme, which culminated in the Bill Withers Unless It Lean on Me, the scene Withers like Bill Unless It Lean on Me, like that whole soul scheme. He had everyone in there. Roberta Flack, Stevie Wonder.
Sorry, did he say Withers like Bill? Bill
Withers like Bill, yeah. Withers like Bill, like the scene,
big musician,
the scene Withers like Bill.
The whole cadence, I think, was crazy.
That last bit for me, and one of the judges, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Poison Pen. Didn't fuck with that, or was it Ben Swayze? I don't know. And I'm like, are you for real? Like, how
What?
did you not fuck with that? Like,
That
the
last thing
scene withers like
was crazy.
Bill unless it lean
He's
on
on me
me.
and
Like,
crazy.
and like, Shotty's been out for a minute. Who are we talking about? Who
That's
are we
crazy.
talking about? Like, best in the UK. Like, the whole scene withers like Bill unless it lean on me. Like, there was not much that Shuffle could come back with in his third and say about.
That's different kind of talk. That's different kind of talk, man.
I liked Shuffle's third. It was funny, and he did have some real. He did have some stuff in it. Like he was kind of talking to him as well. I liked his intro, and someone will tell me that I'm sure I've heard this before. That whole "do you mind if we wait for the people who skipped you around on YouTube to find the right place" thing? And I think it was Shuffle. Am I wrong? But a Shuffle did something similar. Like it was brilliant. It was
That's
brilliant,
sick.
and it was super
That's sick.
simple.
That's
And I'm
sick.
thinking, haven't I heard this before? And if I have, it could only be Shuffle that I've heard it from.
I haven't heard it before, but
I
that was
heard
sick.
that before. That's
Yeah.
sick.
So that was fire.
That's sick.
That was fire. If I haven't heard it before, then you know I'm wrong. It sounded vaguely familiar, but that was dope. The how he dealt with the soul being called racist by Jem, like that whole what was it, the stick thing? I can't remember what it was, but that whole thing, I thought he dealt with that brilliantly. They can't even say something racist without being called a racist these days. Of course, he's racist. All foreigners are, like playing on his Scottishness. Thought that was dope. That I've never done heroin myself. I hear you guys do it better than anyone else. Like, you've got to have obligatory heroin bars in there. But I think he also says in there somewhere, like, if you don't like that, like, don't battle rap or don't be Scottish. Like, simple as. For me, like, that's it. If you don't want to hear these train spotting bars, like don't battle, don't be Scottish. Like I like Shuffle's first.
Unfortunately, he does both, so
that's it. And if there was any round that I could give him, it would have been that. Yeah, because he had in there that you think your writing's complex, go back, have a quick read of my notepad. It's a mystery, no Agatha Christie. Go back to the 60s, that whole bit. Dope. So if I was going to give him a round, which I never would, because for me, when you come with funny parody, ironic shit, you're not going to be Soul spitting 3 rounds of direct fire. Just not going to happen for me. Just not. Like this is not what I come to battle rap for. If I want to be entertained,
I found it a bit closer than you. I gave Shuffle the first. I edged the second to Soul, but I'm not mad at someone giving this the second to Shuffle, and I gave the third to Soul.
Yeah.
So I got Soul winning the last 2 rounds.
And there are people who give Shuffle all 3 rounds. I think those people are on drugs, and I don't know why they watch battle rap. But
do you know it
preference.
is?
No, that's it. It's preference.
Exactly. People watch battle rap for different reasons, innit? So
100%, and that's what I love.
Some people like the joke. Some people like the funny stuff. Some people like disrespect. Some people like violations. Some people like bars and punchlines. So, you know, some people like the performance.
Something for everybody, something, but also, I appreciated that battle. And Shuffle is an absolute genius at what he does. So to see him have to sort of write for Soul, for me, like you're getting a peak Shuffle. So that was super dope. And I really enjoyed the battle. But for me, it was very clear, as much as I love Shuffle. Gonna go on to the last battle, and for me it was kind of similar. It was a kind of similar vein.
This one I had Yunnan Frio.
Oh clearly. That's why it's similar. That's pretty much the same thing for me.
And for me, like one of the things that kind of early on, like I know what Matt is going to bring, but early on it's just like, I'm kind of tuning out of your rounds because, like you said, what was it? He says, you fought your heart out, you're putting 100% passion in. Like, he's basically saying, you're super passionate and, like, you're doing everything you're supposed to do. You're loyal, you're effective, but I'm going to win because I'm funny. Like, I'm just going to come and be funny. Like, for me, you've lost already. Like,
but that's his style, and you gotta remember
but that's
that
it.
he's got fans from that.
Newman came
It's
to tear up.
calling him
He's got a
passionate,
title
loyal, and
from that.
It's
He won
calling
the
him
title for
passionate,
that.
a loyal and effective diss. Yes, it is, and you're right, Trubs. He won the title for that. But for me, for what I tune in for,
Yeah.
from the time you've said that, you've said there, this man is standing there, spitting his heart out, passionate and loyal. Yet you're coming in like it's calling him passionate and loyal and an effective diss. Yes, it is. No, it's not. It's not. Like you lost in my mind. Like, but also I'm kind of like I'm not here for that anyway. Like I'm here to watch the battle and to see. And I think Matt did really well for what he brings. However, like for me, when I saw Yunnan, like Yunnan looked fucking unhinged. Like
Especially
he didn't
second
look.
round.
He came to
He
kill.
didn't look
He came
right
to
from
kill.
the
He was
jump.
not playing.
From the jump, he just looked
Matt
like
made me laugh.
like you. The last week, like I haven't even been able to sleep properly because like just coming and making sure I kill you has been so on the top of my mind. Like until I do this, like I can't. Like he just literally looked unhinged. And when you've got funny man versus unhinged maniac who's trying to literally pull your
like
heart
Dean
out,
Ambrose, isn't it?
like
Dean Ambrose.
yeah, yeah. So
It's one of them things where had Yunnan not come on his game and just rhyme some words,
good point.
that matter thing would have diffused everything he said without passion
Great
and blah blah blah,
points.
and gone the other way. But I think because Yunnan came on his A game, yeah, I just gave it to Yunnan.
Yeah, no, that's a great point actually, because if Yunnan didn't come as hard,
Matter would have diffused all of that.
yeah,
That funny
But-
stuff can be
yeah.
dangerous to battle against.
it really can. But this is why I say for these two particular battles, when you've got Shuffle versus Soul, and that Soul, when you've got well, Soul is consistent, but when you've got Matter versus that Yunnan, for me, your funny is never going to beat their bars, their intensity, their passion. It's just not, because that's not. I don't watch battle rap to laugh. Like I really like. I'll watch some comedy, and I don't watch comedy at the best of times. I don't want to see people being funny. Like add some humor in, but and yeah, Yunnan. I liked. I really like that. You have to kind of, if you're battling Yunnan, you have to talk about his online persona, and that Matt had in the first signature mode, inbox apology, like that whole.
But it's been done before so many times.
That's it. The listen right other night, proper fight. Like if all you've got is you can do Yunan's accent properly, and you can make him sound like this, you're a farmer. Like, if that's my favorite part of what you're doing, you're probably not doing much. And that was one of my favorite bits. And it's like you said, Trubs, it's done before. Yunnan like comes out in the first, and he's talking about you're biting from the rappers' careers that you come up off the coattails of.
Cold.
Like, what? This man's just made me laugh, and this man's just come in here and told me about like.
Let me see it. See it.
Yeah.
Picture.
The lunar scheme, like I haven't watched that many of Yunnan's battles, and it might be something that's overdone a million times over. But that space scheme, he not only had the lunar scheme, he had plenty of bars in there for like the skin of werewolf, basking in Luna's light, in his shadow so long you've got a lunar shaped tan line. That shit was dope. But the whole space scheme, like that was almost like it was a third of a round or something, and all of it was really cool. I like that.
At first as well, Yunnan had this is where he had the symbiotic line. So he was talking about his Matter's relationship with other battle rappers, and he said something like, "P-Soldier gave you a hood pass, and now you're firing Glocks. You and Lunar's relationship is symbiotic because he gave you the venom that made you twice as strong." Like that he killed him with that. Still, like in that first round, he was killing him with that. And then he went into the werewolf and basking in Luna's light, and he just kept going in on that. Like,
first round was the closest round, and I still gave it to Yunnan. After that,
clearly,
Yeah, that probably was the first. Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
closest.
because that scheme, like I was watching that thinking I'd be surprised if some of these lunar flips have, or some of this hasn't been touched on before, but you've done it so well.
Yeah, it's been done before, but Yunnan done it well.
And yeah, because it wasn't just some lunar flips, it was a whole scheme. The second, so I didn't think Yunnan was Mata was particularly effective in breaking down Mata's style. Like I thought the accent was good, but like how hard is it to do a foreigner's accent? Like anyone can do it. You sound like Mara and like it's not hard like to do that. You've got to add something with it. And I don't think like that whole don't sleep on the machine like you're a cancer patient. And he did the multis before, like, or the rhyming before that, like none of that to me, other than the accent hit. But like I say, like I can do that. And I'm not about like it's just an accent. Like most of that didn't hit for me. I did like the bit where he did the why don't women respond to my aggression and lyricism, like that bit was funny.
That was funny. He was funny.
It's funny.
He was funny.
No. He wasn't. That bit was funny.
You didn't like Matter? You didn't think it was funny?
That bit was funny. That bit was funny. I like that bit. I didn't think like that whole cancer scheme bit. That was like a minute of wasted, not funny shit. The dating thing, that was funny.
Yeah.
I don't come for funny. And then like so Yunnan then comes out and says like if the Tommy starts spazzing, I'll knock your fucking glasses off, like that bit. Like you've just made jokes. And Yunnan, like with his black eyes and his deranged look in his face, like has come out and says, "I'll knock your fucking glasses off." Like,
if you was the champ, you wouldn't champ. If you was the champ, you wouldn't stumble from a jab. Like he was going on like a bit of a championship kind of scheme there as well. But I like that part. If you was a champ, you wouldn't stumble from a jab. I like that. I like that. He rapped him. Nameless rapped like sick.
That second round of Yunnan. Like
that whole Fisher.
The Dr. Manhattan Big Bang turned Matter into Atoms, like or atoms. When he said, "I hate you with my whole heart," I'm like, shit, you really don't like this man, do you? Like, I'm rolling like, damn, what did he do to you? Like, because he was spitting for him. Like, Matter's being funny and telling him some cute jokes. Like, Yunnan comes and says, "I hate you with my whole fucking heart." Like,
overgrown rat, never catch me in the lab with you. You know how much is getting
like
on
the ring of matter, like basically saying you're the ring of matter that remains after the talent pool evaporated. Like ring of matter that remained after the talent pool evaporated.
Yeah,
that's it, man. That's on Tupperware.
Like puppet, like the puppet on a string thing, and I think he might have tied this back into the lunar thing. Like the puppet on a string can't adapt unless another man is handling things for him. And then he had, I think I might have said something else, but this is definitely my bar of the night. I think I say definitely, and then I say I think because I can't decide on anything. Cut open your mother's cesarean scar and stuff what's left of you back into her. Fucking classic Yunnan. You did what? You're gonna cut open, stuff you back in your mother. My man came with jokes.
Yeah.
Like he just said he's gonna cut open your mother's cesarean scar and stuff you back into her. Like, nah, like Yunnan all the way.
When Newman finished his rounds, he looked like he'd had a bit of a punch up or something. You know what I mean?
When he started his rounds, he looked like he punched up. Yunnan walked in the battle like.
Do you know what? Lost I've got on weight my back after right? That battle. Still.
Facts.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Something changed during that. Something changed during that. But like that second round, on my first and second watch, as I'm writing my notes, I'm thinking, yeah, that was the third, right? Like Yunnan said so much in there that it was like almost 2 rounds.
He did that
Like
against Raptor as well. His second round was like, fam, that's not even your third, bro.
it was a third, like when you have such a cutting takedown your opponent round, it sounds like a third. So when you've got so much material and it's that material and it's in the second, you're like, boy, you're done out here, Matter. Like he just finished you. And then Matter spits and then Yunnan spits again. And you're like, okay, shit, all right. I got that wrong. That was your second. And for me, there was barely anything that Matter said in his third after Yunnan's second that hit. I like the touch in your face insecurity thing. Like he had a bar in there about that was it. That's my only note.
The only part I liked to Matters, the only part I had with Matters third was I just found it hilarious where he was like, you know, the type never spreads the curtain, seen every director's cut an extended version. Like, I just found that hilarious, isn't it? And then he went in something about extra virgin and just started losing me there. Like, but that little
the
part
extra virgin was that right after that first thing that you said? Because maybe that's why I didn't even count. Because that little bit, that was cool.
Yeah,
but then when you said the extra virgin,
that's when it was just you going back to preschool kind of jokes and
Did you not hear the man just said he's going to cut your mother's cesarean scar open and shove you back in it?
This is it. That's what I just zoned out from there. But that little part, I like. I just found it hilarious.
Oh, my son just bought me dinner. Look at this. Look at that. But no, that was it for me. Literally, I've got 2 things written for Matter's third, which is don't have much to say about Matter's third.
Literally.
Touching his face, insecurity, and what you just said, YD, like that. That's why.
Director's cut an extended version of that, which isn't even a crazy bar. It was just a very good ride.
But then right after that, you follow it up with the virgin olive oil bar.
Extra virgin.
If my son said that, I'd be like, no, son, like scratch it out. You can do better. You can do better.
I think Matter does a lot of those bad bars to be funny. That's part of his comedian thing.
And let's give Matter some props here, because for some people, like I saw at least. So who did he do? Let's go back. Was it Milky? I saw at least 2 people.
I saw 2 people.
I think Milky was one of them. Oh, we saw
Milky
the same
was one of them
people
on Twitter. And someone on my YouTube channel commented, Matter Frio.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I saw 2 comments. Matter took that clearly with a 30.
Yeah.
Well, because for some people, like Matter was funny.
Yeah, like battle jokes. That's what it is.
Jokes. But for me,
they were saying Yunnan's angles were over have been done before.
But his bars, he had just bars in there though. That was just that Matter didn't have. He just had bars.
Matter's all right, I'll tell you what I liked. I think this was in Matter's third still. He had is this battle rap bitch or is this a therapy session? Now, if you had gone on that a bit more and made that funny, like for me, that's an angle. Now we're back in battle rap. We're not just laughing. Like you spill your guts. You talk about all this shit. Like what? Like this is battle rap. Go for like. I could, if you had extended that, I could ride with that humor a little bit more, but just slapstick or funny ha. No, I'm not here for that. And Yunnan's third, that you've got a face like Jeffrey Dahmer's, the sexual partner's dismembered carcass. I'm not giving away the bars there, but that little bit there, dope. That whole.
I had another line in there that I like because now that I'm realizing the Premier battle, I noticed a lot of football bars in all of these battles, isn't it? And I think he kind of started off with this where it was like, it's only a few minutes in the second half or something, and Matt is getting stretched off. I just had to pull that up straight away and just reload his whole round and just let's go again. Because like, yeah, that one there straight away.
See, yeah, Visceral gives it to Matter,
well.
but not 30. Yeah, one Matter. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. The levels. Yeah.
The levels.
And
then
Visceral still.
Yeah, no, that's it, because battle rap is more than just one thing. And if you are here for humor, like Matter was very funny. He was very funny. His humor really hit, if that's what you're here for. So I can see why Milky, I can see why some people might have given every round to Matter. To Matter. But for me, I will watch stand-up. There are better stand-ups than Matter. Like I don't know. For me, battle rap isn't.
Nah. This is the stuff I like in battle rap. This made me.
It's for everyone.
This made me
debatable.
No, I mean, Unam is what I like kind of in battle rap.
Unam is the UK's battle rapper. You one of the UK's battle rappers.
Facts. He had something where he was like, Matter, how are you the best when you're the reason we ain't at the top of the flyer? That's because he says he's the best, but he's just a metallurgical liar. Now, he tried to say it metallurgical, which obviously isn't, I guess, the correct way, but I got where you was going with it, innit? And I had to go Google it, because I was just like, oh, are you sure? You know, is it
metallurgical a word?
Yes.
Shit.
I knew it was a word, but I just need to make sure you said it.
I just thought it was a funny reach.
Nah, I had to go double check that. I
didn't even bother.
It's hard to kind of define in that sense, but there's an Oxford definition of it, and I found one. It says that lies outside the scope of boundaries of logical analysis, specifically that exists prior to or at a more fundamental level than conceptual understanding. So essentially,
but Joe Downey
you should have hammered that home.
See what Joe Downey said, that's his full name, metallurgical.
That's his
Hammer that home. Tell us to go and look in the fucking dictionary, because I didn't even bother. I was like, I like the setup, but metallurgical is a reach. Let us know, because I didn't know that either.
I was gonna come in here and start slaughtering. I said, let me just dig and it took a while.
Pathological liar, Visceral. That's what I thought. I just thought it was a reach, and I wish Yunnan had hammered home. Go check the fuck. Like, no, I don't mean pathological. I mean metallurgical. And then maybe broke that down with another line as to what metallurgical is, because then I would have definitely gone, salute to you for doing that. And Matter 31 now.
Maybe work.
I was giving him a 30 before, now he's got 31. It's a 31 now, because I thought that was a reach, or not a reach, but I just thought, all right.
I thought it was a reach. I keep it. I thought it was a reach.
Big up to you for looking. Yeah. Who knew? Who knew? Like, Yunnan, like, next time you do something like that, put it in the bars. Like, let us send us to the dictionary. Find a clever way. And you think that was a reach? Like, no. Here's what matter means, and I'm going to break it down for you. Anyway. Yeah. But I think Yunnan's mental health angle in the third, and it's a bit contradictory because it's not like Matter. Yunnan doesn't have some really shady bars for other people. You can't just say, look, don't come at me for my mental health when you don't say shit to other people. But like that whole exactly.
They do that a lot.
Like when he said the lies that they say is what your mind becomes tainted with. Like I had to pause. Like the lines that your opponents say to you, like the shit that people get at you for is what you sit, like those shits sit with you and stay with you. Like that touched me longer than most bars do, because for me, that's that real talk. Like when I talk to people about battle rap and I talk about battle rap mental health and I talk about what battle rappers have to go through, and when you have to anticipate your opponent pulling out all your flaws and you have to sit with those flaws, you have to take them to their furthest degree, and you have to be comfortable with your flaws in the way that your opponent, yeah, for me, that was that line. 100%. The lies that they say is what your mind becomes tainted with. So that whole mental health angle hit different, battling your insecurities. For me, real talk, 101. 101. Like the 10 years calling my mum a smackhead, you want to act like it's me aiming below the belt. Matter kind of touched on that in saying, like, you say all this mental health shit, but yeah, you talk about people's dead relatives. However, Yunan's gone last and he said this stuff. So for me, I'm finishing with that Yunnan round and I'm like, yeah, that's some real talk shit. I don't rate the jokes and the punches above bars and passion anyway. But when you're this good and you're saying that, yeah. Fire. 30. Body.
It's looking almost like a night of 30s. It's looking like almost across the board.
Not really.
You got what? Bizzo Bond.
That wasn't a fair.
Debatable. Totally debatable.
I Kid, what
a
you were
really
saying,
good battle.
You giving around to Deviant.
I gave it 30.
30. Yeah, okay. Well, I gave 2-1, but clear, like that was levels there.
Almost. And then we had Shuffle versus Soul. I think you all said Soul 30. Yeah. Just
yeah, but
I had a 2-1.
However, yeah, Shuffle had that. Shuffle. Chubbs had that 2-1, and Shuffle in what he like. I couldn't argue with the 2-1. Also, Soul's second, I think, was the first half was super light, and he took a long while to.
That's
warm
why
up
I'm not mad at people giving
the second
Shuffle
half of it. Okay. Crazy, but the first half wasn't. Whereas Shuffle, for what he did, the whole round, consistent.
Yeah.
I can see why Trav says that. 100%.
Okay. Jess versus Leicester. Did you give any rounds to Jess?
Nah, 3-0 that one.
But there was a choke in that, which changes the whole dynamic of the battle.
And then, Rap versus Rivers, that's going to be debatable forever. Yeah, that's going to be debatable forever. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
Now, for me, Raptors, and I don't like to use the C word at all, but like I've watched that about 4 or 5 times now, and like when I still make the fucking screw face at bars that I know are coming, but they're so good that I can't not react. Like for me, that's or when I look back and think, did so and so really get that? And I have to go like. When I have to make 4.5 pages of notes just to be sure that I haven't missed it, classic. The two of them and the respect that they had for each other, like in terms of UK battle rap, in terms of direct personals, no filler, straight talking. That's the best UK battle I've seen in a minute.
That battle as well, I don't think that was one of the only one where no one had a weak round. I don't feel like no one had a weak one.
Yeah. I think there was it Raptor's second was spoiled by chokes, but he made up for it.
Yeah, a little bit. It was still enough, it was still pretty much enough.
Yeah. But I think for me the Shuffle Soul and Mata Yunnan were clear. But I think for a lot of people they're not. Because Mata was really good. Shuffle is a fucking genius and was insane. I think for us, it's quite easy to say those were clear. But if you like more the jokes, more the entertainment aspect of UK battle rap, you're going to go for that. And you like it's a far more even battle. And in terms of the shuffle, like I have major respect for Shuffle T. And I think I said this. He does what he does so well. It sounds like like it makes it simple, and it's really not. It's almost unfair on Shuffle. And I would say what was the clear battle? iKid versus Deviant for me was the only clear battle. However, YD, for some reason, has this a bit more debatable. So clearly,
I tried to be
no,
nice.
but
I don't have
clearly,
it.
don't be nice, be real.
All right,
Clearly,
then.
it's not that
It's not that.
it's not that obvious. I just think the card was dope, the battles were dope, the performances were stellar. I really am so glad we got this UK live card.
Nah, yeah,
We didn't have a
definitely.
crowd, but
We needed that. We needed this event still. UK needed this event. 5 battles to close out the year. We ain't had much this year, so we needed this one. We needed
yeah,
this one.
no, that's it. Shaf. I keep calling you Shaf because Trubs and Shaf.
So
I
good,
drink
so
too
good.
much and smoke too much to have Shuff and Trubs in the same stream. But no, for real, Trubs, like this really made me excited for next year and to see what we're gonna get in 2021. Like if this is what we could have, if this is what we got out of this this waste of a year that was 2020. When we're talking
Yeah,
about vaccines and events opening back up in 2021 and people coming outside again, I'm fucking excited. Like, I'm really
yeah.
excited
And
to
I'm
see
looking
this.
forward for the Anarchy tournament as well. Still, to join
That's
the
it,
Anarchy. That's fire.
100%. 100%. So let's focus on that. Salute to Premier Battles, to all the battlers that put on, because there was, even with Deviant, like he did his thing. Like he did his thing. Like he did what he came to do.
Yeah,
So I have to give 100% respect to all the battlers who showed up, who showed out, who's put on, and who gave me an event that, you know, I wasn't necessarily expecting for 2020. Salute 100 to Premier Battles, to all of them over there for what they did, for being able to put on in a pandemic, and looking super forward to 2021.
facts. Shout out to all the Premier Battle stuff. You get me, Stroh, Shorty, Briggsy. Big up as always. You'll already know the Manchester Connect.
Yeah, 100%. Big up to Premier Battles for what you're doing. Really looking forward to seeing what they're doing in 2021, especially the building the studio from the ground up. I'm
Yep.
hearing all sorts. Like I've had 3 different US battle rappers say, "Yo, I've spoken to Shotty and I'm coming over," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I'm hearing the matchups that are being talked about. UK battle rap for 2021. I'm
Yeah.
excited, man. We're talking about Shotty. We're talking about Soul on No Loose Chat as well. Like big things happening, and I'm excited. So yeah,
Yeah.
glad to have
Facts.
this Apex event to cap off the year. Thank you so much, Trubs, YD, Wiretap, YD TV, for joining me for this recap.
So good.
Pleasure.
Really looking forward to talking about events in 2021. Happy Sunday.
Yep.
All of
Yep.
that good
Yep.
stuff. We're going to wrap up here. And thank you, everyone in the comments, for joining us. Thanks to Joe. Thanks to Visceral. Thanks to Troy. Thanks to Caps. Thanks to Smoke Kings. Thanks to Shotty. Read between the bars, all of that. If you are watching this and you haven't got the pay-per-view,
Go get it. Go get it now, please. Go get it.
you know how I feel about that.
Merry Christmas, yo. Shout out to Johnny.
Yeah, that's
Right.
it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Joe.
But yeah, big up to all of you. I got to show off as well anyway. So yeah, big up to all of you.
Is that your baby we heard in the background, Chubbs?
Yeah. She just pulled up.
Little mama's like demanding the attention. So we've got to duck out, because you know. Life and all that. Thank you for joining us in the stream. Thanks guys for joining me. And me and Rivers gonna be in live in a minute. I'm gonna eat my food that my son made me. Look at this.
Jeez.
My son's doing bits, like, right? Chicken and mushroom tagliatelle. Gonna do that. Gonna be on live with Rivers in a little while. Thanks for joining. Get the pay-per-view, Premier Battles, UK Battle Rap. Support. Go and follow the Wyatt app. Go and follow YD, Yendizi TV, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all of that good stuff. And we out.
Peace.
Jeez.